Fat Tuesday, everybody. And everybody partying in New Orleans. It's the Bennington Show. I'm Ron Bennington. There's Gail Bennington.
Yo.
I am Ron Bennington. Someone also wrote along that today is World Radio Day, which I've never heard before. And then another thing that I'd never heard before, today is Galentine's Day.
I did not know that was the precursor.
Yeah.
I did not know you'd do that beforehand.
You get together with your gal pals and out a little bit. Hashtag me too. So yeah, I think God forbid a day go by that it's not some kind of a fucking holiday.
I need to celebrate every day.
Yeah, I like to celebrate me day.
What is World Radio Day? That's exciting.
It seems the stupidest thing I've ever heard of before.
Chris, what did you get us for World Radio Day?
Oh shit!
I actually had a nightmare about Chris.
Did you really?
Day. Yeah, doing a bad producing job.
Oh God!
It was.
Was it a nightmare? Or
Yep.
okay.
Was this a memory? Or
Here, I'm going to do it very quick because there's nothing worse than hearing about someone else's dreams. But we're doing this thing from which seems it's a remote, and it seems like a lunch counter somewhere, right?
Cool.
And we have Tom Cruise as our guest, and he's drugged up Tom Cruise. And we almost immediately go into break, and then we're never coming back from break. And I can't find Chris to say, call New York. And it came down to the thing where I had opened the door to a hallway, and I was screaming, Chris, Chris, where the fuck are you? Because it felt like it was going. And he's saying, Tom Cruise is all drugged up and saying these ridiculous things that we're not getting on the air.
oh no!
And then yesterday I had a, as they call, home accident. Just as I was preparing to come into work, a bookcase came down across my ankle. Incredible, crazy pain. Enough where I felt like my first thought was, I'm going to throw up right now, laying here with a bookcase on my ankle. I don't know what it is when you get pain and it feels like you're just going to barf.
No, it's a really weird thing that happens.
Yeah.
I've actually thrown up from pain
I
twice
never have.
before. Twice. Once from cramps. Once from really intense menstrual cramps. The other time from a thumb injury. That's like, and it wasn't even when it happened because I was still in shock and
Yeah.
I had a little something to drink.
Sure.
So it was actually the next morning when I woke up fully sober, post stitches, post everything wearing off, and then just immediately started puking from pain.
Gail, this isn't about you.
You're right. I'm sorry. This is about your injury, not mine.
6 pins in my ankle is what the doctor said a man would take.
Oh my God, how many pins did you take?
No pins. I'm not going to the doctor. But I'm fine to come in today, but I won't be able to play the game this Sunday.
Oh, no.
Yeah, consider me the Carson Wentz of the crew.
So true.
Gail, do you want to tell a story when you couldn't play a game one time?
No, that's all right.
It'd be about me for 5 seconds.
You're right.
Oh, but anyway, the doctor said that most men would have died from that kind of pain. You know what? The two things. So first of all, that happened. It was right when it was like I was basically leaving. I was looking for something to come in. And thanks for all the flowers. Everybody checked in on me yesterday, and that was great. Vito, you're the best, pal. It goes without saying that Jen didn't.
Right.
But
she doesn't. She also doesn't get in on the group text.
Nothing. She'll never fucking jump into a group text.
Never. She never responds. And sometimes it'll be like a fun one, like a congratulations of some sort. We're all celebrating. I'm like, I'm sure Jen's happy too. I'm sure Jen is
She
happy.
never says a word. But anyway, I'm fine, Jen. Stop worrying. But Chris never checks either.
I didn't want to bother you.
Now, you got a haircut yesterday, right?
Yes, I did.
You also looks like you trimmed your mustache.
I just shaped the mustache.
Don't shape the fuck. That's not how you...
No.
This is why I hate to do bets with people. The fucking point was your big, great mustache.
I also feel like the beard
Just shave the whole fucking thing off. Because the whole point was you can't shave.
Yeah. The stash.
Yes. And then you got a big Raleigh fingers stash going and everybody's having fun. Instead now, He looks like he should. He looks like Fatty Arbuckle, ready to fuck some girl with a champagne bottle till she dies. So yeah, the bet's off. It just doesn't fucking matter. Vito, you'll be able to get something else. I don't know what it will be, but you won't get the fun stash thing that you had planned.
Okay.
And you know what? I also feel like beating you up, Vito, for telling everybody that Celebrity Big Brother was worth watching.
I'm into it so far. I mean, I feel like they're playing the game.
It is not the fucking game. They got cell phones. Last night, fucking Meta World Peace left the house.
What?
And was just fucking riding around on a bicycle.
He escaped?
No, they just let him out.
Oh my god.
They're the cell phones they have are one way. They could send tweets, but they can't read any tweets back.
Why was Meta leaving the house
point?
then?
And how do they have the technology to block incoming tweets?
It's the whole thing. It's just, you know what this is like? It's like seeing a celebrity softball game and then comparing it to the fucking major leagues.
Yeah, it's just not the same game. Also, they're acting so much more cabin fevery after such a time. You have
and
no idea.
Outside food. Their lives
they're
are
boozing
fucking,
it up.
Yeah, they're
there.
boozing it up every fucking night.
They got a vacuum yesterday.
They got breast pumps. They're doing everything in there.
It's just, who gives a fuck? Next year they said they're going to do Celebrity Winter Olympics. I'm like, I'm not watching that. I don't want to see Omarosa snowboard.
I'm worried about her asthma. I don't think she can take it.
I never believe that asthma, nor do I believe breast pumps. I think it's people just saying I don't want to lose. Who do you pick to win it all?
I'm going Marissa, the Broadway hairspray.
Yeah.
She's playing the most under the radar game right now. That guy Ross is playing. He acts like Shannon's playing way too hard, too fast, but he's right after her. Once she's out, he's the next target.
You are taking it fucking serious.
He's serious about it.
I love Big Brother. I've been watching the feeds.
That isn't Big Brother, though. That's the problem. It's not Big Brother.
It's a different kind of thing. Although I guess it's more so than England's Big Brother is, like, even more of an insanity thing, because isn't that like people vote and
you want to see people fuck?
Yeah, it's just encouraging them to be nuts.
Yeah, and well, the feeders are really annoyed. They're trying to get nudes left and right, but the producers are cutting away anytime somebody even starts to change.
Omarosa had a nip slip.
Yeah, she let her nipples fly one day.
Oh, sounds disgusting.
Just one nipple.
Fly, nipple, fly.
On the road to victory. No one likes us. No one likes us. No one likes us. We don't care. You're losing all your coordinators already, too.
I know. It's really heartbreaking, but I'm told that this is something that happens. You explained to me this is something that happens, but I'm not used to this, being in a winning position.
What happens is if your team wins, they decide that one of the coordinators would be perfect to be their head coach because they're the real reason that the team won that year. It happens every fucking year. It's going on with New England for the past 17. They keep losing coordinators. And I think only one of the guys that they lost has a winning record. Most of them are just,
really, yeah.
You know, it's, you know, most of the time you don't figure this out. It's luck. Someone wrote to me, can you imagine the Eagles next year? I go, I'll give them a slightly better chance than anyone else in the NFC of winning.
Yeah.
Slightly. Like fucking 0.05. Because you just don't know. See, that's why when someone says, oh, you know, this team is building. There's a lot of teams that go from last place to the fucking playoffs. There's a lot of teams that go. Everyone forgets the Falcons should have been the returning champions. Everybody was down on them all this year.
Yeah.
You're lucky when you get your fucking Super Bowl. Who knows? Could be the Giants next year. Never. No, but it honestly could be. It's that kind of thing. Fucking Jerry Jones said that he was biting his pillow. He was so upset. I'm like, why are you laying face down on your bed during the fucking Super Bowl?
That's how you watch it.
Who's banging that ass?
Not familiar with the terminology.
Jen never even answered when you said that she never brings up anything.
I know. I mean, Jen, you did
Jen,
worry, and you were
Jen, come in here.
concerned.
Run in here. But no, even beyond that, you're right. She never once answers group text. What is she doing? Why is it taking her so long?
Oh, she's got a slow jog.
She claims that she was a track star, but no one believes it. I like the hair all pulled back.
I know, it's cute.
Thank you.
Yeah.
With your little babies.
Is that done on purpose?
Yes, it was.
Does that cost money, or you do it yourself?
I did it myself.
It looks
Sweet.
really good.
That's real cool.
I've been trying not to wash it as much to get it longer.
Yeah, that's how Chris says. He's trying not to wash his hair.
She's doing for Lent.
He did get a $17 mustache fucking cut. Shave it down, Chris. It doesn't matter. It's all over now. Now, why don't you answer group text? Why don't you jump in?
I'm not
fun?
a group. I don't like group. It's too much to follow through. It's like
It's 4 of us on there. Wait, let me change that to 5. Vito just writes ha 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 most of the time, which I appreciate. So you just refuse. You look at it and you're like, I don't even understand this.
So I have it like most of my, because I have like a bunch of group texts that my friends and
I bet you're
so I put
answering them.
No, I put them on silent too. I'm like, I hate group texts.
You're a ghost member.
All right, let's take her off our group text. Vito, that'll be your job.
Got it. Start a new group without you.
How's your cold? It's all better now?
Yeah, it's better.
Yeah, you
What's
sound
wrong
better.
with you?
Yeah.
You know, these people are dying from the flu one after another.
I know.
I had the flu.
Did you?
Yeah.
A little kid died yesterday.
I know. It's is this more than most flu seasons? It seems like it is.
At least, yeah, I didn't even know people died from the flu until a couple years ago. You know, I thought like maybe
Right.
an old person.
Just like an elderly.
Yeah. And then I was up in Connecticut. I think half that state died from it. Half the state of Connecticut.
God, that is a tragedy.
Man, we had a ball up there last Friday night with Boston Florentine, and Luke Florentine was also on the show.
Oh, nice.
Luke Florentine, Jim Florentine's kid, came out and did street jokes, and we had to talk him into it. His dad told me he hasn't been off the stage yet. He's 10 years old. And he jumps up.
He was a
Jim.
natural when he did it with it. I mean, he was so comfortable. Because at first he was like, no, I'm not going to do that.
Well, it seems like he's a naturally shy kid until he gets on stage.
I know.
And then he's like fucking Wu-Tang Clan.
But that
You know
kind of
what I mean?
seems like a comic, too.
Yeah, it is. It's very much like a comic. But he actually improvised, much to his dad's chagrin. And then, you know, like, hey, it's all over Luke. Boom, boom, boom. He doesn't leave. He's whispering in his dad's ear. And then Jim's like this. All right. He wants to take a picture with all you guys going crazy behind him. And he fucking goes over and he stands on the stage. And then the crowd has to go nuts. And he takes a picture. I'm like, I said to Jim later, I go, what the fuck is that all about? He goes, all the metal bands do that now for their Instagrams. And the people want to get on that, on like the metal guys'
God,
Instagram.
that is so cute. I want to see this picture.
So, and this is at the Ridgefield Playhouse. And again, just a blast. A lot of fans there.
That's awesome.
It was just Voss was fucking great. And Voss is going to be shooting a special from an NA convention, which, I mean, to me seems like it's against the entire program. It's right there on fucking page 1, but, his material is just great. I don't know if you guys know how bad Voss was, a drug addict, when he was younger, but it was just, so those stories, for some reason, they're always the funniest stories in the world. The worst stories in the world are like a war story.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And fucking veterans sit around and talk about the war like they enjoyed it, but they
Right.
didn't. They enjoy that they survived it. And that's a drug addict with, as I like to say, my own personal Vietnam. So, Luke, so he's wearing like, you know how the kids wear like fucking multicolored sneakers, these little sweatpants and a leather jacket like Fonzie. And he's got that page boy haircut, right? I mean, he's just his own fucking kid. So he goes on stage and he's doing his jokes that I guess his dad has helped him with. Then he improvises and goes like this. Something like, you know what kind of kid I don't like? A kid wearing sweatpants and a leather jacket. You better wash my fucking clothes. He points at his dad. Fucking crazy hilarious. And then he also goes like this. All right, I'm going to end with a street joke. He calls it a street joke. Fucking adorable. So this is also another great Voss and Bonnie story. So their little girl, Raina, goes with Bonnie. Bonnie does the Tonight Show Thursday night. I don't know whether you guys saw it, but she was fantastic.
So good.
And Raina goes with her, right? So they're backstage, and Jimmy Fallon comes back to meet them before the show, right? So he's like, Bonnie, hey, I haven't seen you since the old day, you know. They kind of been breaking in together in L.A. a million years ago. And he says something to Rich, and then he says, Raina. And he's like, hey, who's this here? And he starts to lean in to give her a hug. And as he's leaning in, her hand shoots up with her phone and just takes a selfie away. She's doing it. And everybody's cracking up. They said it was like the smoothest move ever. And the thing was, she didn't think that the kids at school would believe that she was at the Tonight Show. So she had been thinking, I got to get a fucking picture with this dude. But she ain't the kind of guy that says, hey, would you pose? I mean, the thing is, Fallon probably would have called everybody in her class.
Of course.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But she doesn't know that coming into it.
Right. So she just sneaks a selfie.
Just sneaks a selfie while he's coming in. And he sees the arm just go up. Just these kids, it's almost
I know.
That is life to them.
Another appendage is their phone.
Vito, did you get the new thing set up? With you know who out?
Yes, I did.
Good. So anyway, today, the doctors begged me not to walk on this, but I said I have to go in and do the show.
You didn't have to do that. You give so much.
I know, but then I was told by Wiki, if I wasn't in here today, don't come in the next day.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
You would think that he would just have a little understanding.
I tried to rent one of those things where you just put your knee on a wagon and you're around. That was on last year's Big Brother, remember, Vito?
Yes, I do.
Who is that? Who had the wagon leg?
Oh, Christmas.
Christmas, that's right.
Oh, that's a holiday. Who's the woman?
Christmas Joy.
That's her name?
Yeah,
Christmas Joy.
I never knew her last. I never know anyone's last name.
That was her middle. Christmas Joy Abbott was her full name.
Her parents are idiots.
Yeah, they must be nuts. I mean, you got to be pretty weird.
Because it wasn't like it's like, oh, her last name is related to Christmas, so let's name her after it. It was just let's give her a whole Christmas first and middle name.
Yeah, we got it.
Yeah, we got it.
I know. I just wanted to.
If your last name is Abbott, you got to name your kid Bud. Now, there's this movie out this weekend that the backlash. You know, everything is just backlash now.
Mm-hmm.
Amy put out a trailer, backlash. Mm-hmm. And this movie, I don't know, what is the children's book that is based on, Vito?
Oh, Peter Rabbit. I don't know the book it's based on. I just know it's about a bunch of rabbits fighting a man.
Yeah, it's Peter Rabbit. It's just
the
like
book,
an old,
right?
Yeah, it's an old story.
Even
Peter
I've heard
Cottontail
of it.
Was the book.
You might be
I think
right.
that's no. Peter Rabbit was a book and a fable both.
Yeah. But Peter Cottontail was the Easter Bunny.
Yeah, and that's a song. I mean, is there a Peter Cottontail?
Anyway, we're getting away from the fucking points, derailer. So they got kids throwing fucking blackberries at kids with blackberry things, and then they have to apologize. But every movie isn't about all nice kids, and neither is every story. Fucking Spanky and our gang, Butch used to show up with Boim and fucking literally beat those kids up. And the point was to run from bullies or find a way to drop a bucket on their head. But why do they expect everything to be safe even in our fucking...
I don't know. If there was anything to get upset about, it was that the idea seemed a little familiar to me. But other than that...
What's that?
Because it reminded me of the Peanuts. Throwing peanuts as a weapon.
Yeah, but I mean, how fucking hard is that got to be to come up with that?
But yeah, like, is this really something to get upset about?
Is anything something to get upset about? Chris, you said that Bill Murray got political today.
Yeah, he talked about how it's harder to make comedy because of identity politics.
Well, Bill, it's definitely harder for you to make comedy. There's no doubt about that. I don't know what happened. Just stand next to Wes Anderson and away from everybody else. But what's he mean by identity politics? I mean, all of a sudden don't understand.
All right, so he said I think it's harder and harder to make comedy because people are trying to win their point of view as opposed to saying, what if I spoke to everyone?
I don't know if I would even say that, but the thing is that we can't even laugh at what we always laughed at was basically a guy slipping on a banana. Mm-hmm. It is wrong to laugh at a man slipping on a banana. We all know that. But we laugh because it's so fucking scary that maybe his spine broke.
There is something really funny about pain. And that goes, I think, for both physical and emotional. Physical pain, for some reason, is funny to us.
Because there's a fear connection to it. We laugh so we don't fucking cry.
Yeah.
We all know that. And every character in every movie doesn't have to be good. You can't have a bad character now. But people are like, oh, that's wrong to do that. It's also wrong to slash people with fucking knives. And that's every horror movie.
Exactly. That's not right. I wouldn't do that.
I mean, if you watch Walking Dead, you have to fucking even feel a little sorry for the villains. You know what I mean? Because the thing in Walking Dead, those zombie things that's scary is you don't want to become a zombie.
Right.
You don't want to become a vampire. You don't want to be a fucking werewolf. But we're all acting like... All right, here's what a movie should be now. A bunch of nice people not doing anything wrong.
Sounds so funny.
I saw a rom-com that was so good. A guy and girl met each other and got along and got married right away.
What happened in the second act?
There was no second act.
They didn't break up? Fast marriage.
I mean, sometimes, like, if you're going to make this fucking Porter story, right? Is he not going to hit his ex-wives now? Is he just going to forget that it's Galentine's Day? Is that the fucking gimmick?
Also, it looks like the rabbits who do this, and I can see by the way they're depicted in this, they're the bullies. Like, it's not like Peter Rabbit does this and we're supposed to be like, oh, Peter, you're incorrigible.
It's the bad rabbits. Yeah, the bad rabbits have to do bad shit to make a fucking movie.
Right.
Antagonist. So Amy Schumer got a lot of blowback too on the trailer to her movie because she plays a girl who is chubby, and then once she hits her head, think that she's beautiful. So everyone's like, you don't have to be fucking chubby to hit your head to think that a fat body is awesome. It already is awesome.
Yes. And I also read a criticism that was like, she's not as unattractive as she would like to depict herself. So people who are actually fat, actually unattractive, are seeing this person who is like, to what the way she described it, better than average, but not as attractive as a Hollywood.
But
I'm like,
why can't a fat person say you're not as, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're not as fat as somebody who's 1,600 pounds.
Or you're very fat, but you're not disabled, or you know what I mean? Like,
right.
you
not
can sit
disabled
there.
fat.
Yeah, and I don't know. It's just like, I saw the trailer, like, come on. It's very lighthearted.
Yeah.
It's not any, I mean,
look,
heavy.
If you were 450 pounds, right? And you're feeling sorry for yourself. There's someone 1,200 pounds going like, you're my goal weight. I love to be your side. But that doesn't mean that you don't feel sorry for yourself
Right.
at any fucking weight. Look, believe me, I wish I had the kind of ankles you guys have. All right? Please just thank God that both your ankles are functioning.
we all really do regret the way we're able to bend and flex.
I would actually say this too. After my pain, I got sorry for myself because I felt like when I was younger, I would have just blown this off. You know what I mean? It would have been no big deal. And then here I am with fucking peas on my
What?
on my ankle.
You
Like,
probably would still go to a party that night and you would just be like, yeah, I hurt my ankle a little.
yeah. I remember when I was a little kid and it would always be like, Grandmom fell down. I'd be like, so? Fucking fall down 18 times a day. Like 18 times a day I would fall, hit my face,
Right.
cry, and then start again. That's the thing. It's like gravity doesn't affect you as much when you're a little kid.
Yeah. Kids bounce. They got those rubbery bones. Just like doesn't really affect them. But then you do feel like pain or shock intensely while it happens. Like, I don't know if it's like combination of just like embarrassment or frustration.
Yeah.
But you do like, I'll hurt myself now and it's not like I'll cry the way I would when I was a kid. I'll be fucked up for a week. But I won't have that moment where I just like sit on the floor and be like, ow, the way a kid
It would be better if you would cry, though. Like,
just sit down and cry it out.
Lappy 5000's back and is already not fucking working. Fucking pain in the ass. I hate
Lappy.
technology. And the other day, Elon Musk said, one day, we're going to have to fucking be part computer or else we won't. Because computers, AI is going to be a billion times fucking smarter than us.
Right.
So we're going to have AI in our brains so we can compete with computers. And I'm like, oh, please don't include me in the future.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Plus, someone's going to hack our brains like they did the Olympics. You think if we have the technology to have AI inside of us using like with our brains, people will be able to then manipulate that technology.
Yeah, of course. But I can manipulate people now due to hypnotherapy. Vito? Bark like a dog.
Bark, bark. Woof, woof.
What are you got a first grade bark, son?
Dude, I've never.
Don't just say bark,
That's
bark.
a fucking seriously. Hey, when he tries to act like he farted, he goes like this: fart, fart.
He's like a person. He's just like human.
Oh my god!
Silly.
All right, so here's the other Amy Schumer thing that they were bursting all over the things today. She has a new beau, and he's this guy. Weirdly enough, that I followed for a couple of years because he's a farm to table guy in Martha's Vineyard. His name is Chris Fisher. Chris is sitting there with just his fingers on it, like he's going to do something, and he's got this like little farm and then he also fishes and forages. So when you go to his restaurant, you're basically eating something that is within 80 yards away.
Nice.
And I'm like, well, is this an Amy Schumer movie where she's falling off the lobster boat?
I know.
She's
like he's preparing this meal and he looks over and she's eating a bag of Doritos.
yeah. Or then she thinks she's foraging and she's just putting little pellets of chicken shit in her mouth. Look, everybody should work everything out that they want to, and no. This is not going to work.
Aww.
It can't work. You're too different. I don't know why you're showing them kissing instead of the farm so we could be discussing it. It's some kind of, it's like Bumblefuck Farm or some shit.
Beetlebung.
Well, instead, let's see pictures of it. Like, go to the pictures that you had originally. That's exactly like what you'd want to do on vacation.
I know, that's so pretty. Look at the little tables outside.
And see this right there? That's where he picked breakfast, right out of that patch of grass.
It's really close farm to table.
Yeah. But see, I mean, it looks exactly. Now, how long's Amy going to last in this world? You know what I mean? This is an Amy Schumer comedy. I guess it
Oh,
because
he looks cool.
yeah, of course he does. Well, he worked with Alice Waters, so he kind of talks like her. You know what I mean? I mean, maybe he talked like that before his way went out, but yeah, all this shit is my favorite kind of stuff.
I like that he's kind of like ruggedly handsome, but he's like the kind of dude who's like, I don't really think about my clothes. And you're like, you don't have to. Is he gonna kill
I
that
bet he
rabbit?
thinks about his clothes quite a bit. No, you click again. He's gonna eat that rabbit right there.
They're harvesting seaweed for the pig pens. That's what they're doing there.
They also eat that seaweed too, I think. It's like
Seems like a pretty great life.
it's the opposite of Hard Rock Johnny. Yeah, it seems like a great life until you have to do it. You know what I mean? Like, it's a nice weekend. I'd go up and spend the weekend
Right.
with him, but I don't want to I want to just I don't want to forage. I'm fucking hungry already. I feel like forage is going through my own pantry. But I love that kind of New England look to that, little farm and everything, too. Look, there he is, just eating fucking shit that he found right there. Now, how long's Amy going to last in that world?
I don't know.
That's a short fucking porch for her.
But it does seem like when you're listing off past lovers, it's a good one to throw in there.
Yeah, it's a great past lover.
Then you could be like, oh, I dated this guy who's farm to table, had his own farm.
Before that, I was with a wrestler and a comedian. And then one night when I was drunk with a taxi driver. Look who's on the line right here. Rich Foss. Rich, how you doing, buddy?
Yeah.
How's it going?
It's going cool. I was telling everybody about that great gig that you put together and that you slayed it the other night in Ridgefield.
Thank you. Let me tell you, I just wanted to thank you. It was so much fun. Everybody, I've done that place 6 times, and that was the most fun, the best show, I think, from beginning to end. And Florentine's kid, stole the show.
Of course, that kid did he brings out. Well, here's the thing: Voss has to follow this, and it's like you're watching the Champ, the comedy version of the Champ. The only thing missing was Florentine having a heart attack and the kid laying on his chest, and then Voss has to come out after that. It's impossible.
Let me tell you something. I cannot wait in about 10 years when Florentine's opening for his kid.
Oh yeah.
His kid and my daughter are co-headlining.
I know.
And Florentine's over. But
Florentine's going to be Sammy Shore.
That's hilarious. Your fans that came are the best fans on the planet.
Yeah, they're very, very cool.
And it was so much fun. And also, too, when you talk about these movies, first of all, last night I watched Denzel's movie. He's just the best actor on the planet.
Yeah, he's great.
Where he plays a lawyer, he's just unbelievable. And with Amy Schumer or this cartoon where they're mad about allergies, food allergies. I don't know if you read that.
Yeah.
But people are outraged if they're not outraged, so they have to find something to be outraged about.
I think this is good for comedy because it makes comedy dangerous now. You know what I mean? Comedy is the most dangerous thing in the world.
You don't want everyone to be hip to it.
No, you don't want anyone to be hip to it.
Yeah, but at this point, the Sklar brothers are dangerous.
Exactly right. It is true. There's someone screaming, how dare you, with the Sklar brothers.
Yeah. Oh, you're making fun of being twins? I had a twin brother. Died in a plane crash. I was doing, years and years ago, Mario Cantone was on stage killing. Killing. This was years ago. And he did a bit about Bambi.
Yeah. And
some lady started crying, going, "Oh, my mom died in an accident hitting a deer." Well, how's she supposed to know that? Really? Is it?
There's some shit that you shouldn't bring up, though. Bambi's one of them. It's too edgy.
It's touchy for people.
I know, Bambi. That's that. But whatever. So, if somebody's not upset, then you're doing something wrong. Okay. And people are talking about fat people this, fat people that. Let me tell you something. Dane Cook starting to look like a manatee, and he's banging a 19-year-old. So what I'm saying is, it's not all bad. Some of it's fun and games. You gain a few pounds, and you get rewarded.
All right, Rich. I'll talk to you soon, buddy. That was great the other night.
Well, thank you.
All right.
Thanks for coming. I'll talk to you later. Bye.
Peace. So funny. So funny. I gotta, if I get the opportunity to go out and see him shoot that special, because it's just great. All right, this is the picture that he was talking about. It's up on the iBang. Dane Cook dating a 19-year-old, and TMZ catches him looking a little barrel-bellied and the hair looking thin, which, is age appropriate.
Yeah, I mean, that's really what this looks like is, he's an adult now. Like, we knew him as a young man, and now look he's an adult.
And luckily, he's lost weight in his ass. That's completely gone. But this is the problem with dating younger women, is that you do it to feel younger, but then you immediately look older. Because Dane is in better shape than most men his age.
Right. It's true.
It does you no good, though. You lose all that. But he gets to bang a very girl, so.
Yes.
I guess you don't do that without a fucking receipt coming your way.
But yeah, that's true. I mean, maybe if he was with just an average looking woman who was not super fit, then you would not be going, what's wrong with him? It's just
He'd been an average looking 19-year-old.
Yes.
Okay. No, if he was with someone his age, you'd be just like, okay, that's, people their age. But here's the thing. The last sexuality that we're allowed to make fun of is people of different ageism is still okay. That'll be that'll go next.
And the biggest one is vice versa. If we accept that men date young women, but if a woman is dating a man who's like 5 years younger than her, it's like, whoa, look at Milfy over there, cougar. It's like,
well, I think women have kind of owned the cougar and MILF thing. You know what I mean? Like, women would be like, I'm a real MILF. Now, the other angle is that when you gain weight, you can date a black guy. But can black women? Because black women get mad about white fat women, right?
Yes.
Isn't that a gimmick?
Yeah, they do not like to see a white woman of any size with a black man. It comes up a lot. If you're in public, they will be vocal about it.
I think particularly big women, because they're feeling like, dude, we see what you're doing. What's the story with Meta World Peace's wife? What's her ethnic background?
I don't know. Let me look up what she looks like.
I'm going to guess Asian or Puerto Rican.
Oh, interesting.
Now, because he's a ball player. Right. They tend to do that.
This is as the last woman he was married to.
I don't think that's what that says.
Current, dude.
No.
That he rushes.
That so he was married to Kim Shah Artest, but I'm not sure who he's with now.
Shah Artest.
Kim Shah Artest.
Yeah, he's not doing the Artest thing anymore. Take your time. There's no fucking rush to this.
Yeah, who's the one he's upset?
Maya Ford.
That's Lena Ford. You just found the picture of. Now, Meta is, to me, I'm hoping that he wins Celebrity Big Brother because he didn't even know how to vote somebody out.
Oh my God.
Because I voted for Chuck.
That was maybe one of my most favorite moments ever. And they're just like, no. And he's like, look, I'm telling you, I'm the one vote for Chuck. And they're like, no, if you walked in there and said Chuck, and his face was like, what?
Chuck took the blame for it. Chuck was like, I think it's my fault because I said go vote for me. And I'm pretty sure that confused you. Meta before he went.
That's his wife?
Yeah, that's his wifey, as he puts it, that he's wants
She
to just go
does
home
look
to.
Asian and Puerto Rican at the same time. I feel very strong about that stuff. Just the way he was saying, like, giving her little kisses.
Mm-hmm.
He talks about his wife like it was his mom, though.
Yeah, he does. Like that's exactly what it's like. He's talking about needing her. It's like someone saying, like, I need my mommy.
Now, he was in the hot tub last night making these, like, little fucking swans fight. But he was going to, like, let these two ducks fight.
Yeah.
Everything that he does.
When he was getting the nods from the camera and just getting really excited from it.
He's like a little kid.
He is like a little kid, but a little kid that can punch hard.
Yeah.
Like, he was always in trouble when he was a basketball player because he acted like he does on this show. Like, you think, they're like, people are like, well, he better grow up. And you're like, but he can't. You know what I mean? It's like getting mad at a special needs kid.
The Malice at the Palace, he was joking around on the announcer's table, pretending to do play-by-play of the fight. A drink hits him, and his first instinct is to go into the stands and start fighting fans, like throws in. And
it was one of the biggest basketball fights of all time. And everybody was, like, furious with him. But, again, it's like if someone smacked a giant in the ear, he is going to lose his shit.
And
so this is when it stayed on the floor. It's going to take a while to get to it. There he goes.
Oh boy.
And could you imagine people
shit.
were freaking? Yeah.
Yeah.
This was a very
Holy.
I mean, that's for hockey. That's not a basketball.
Yeah, that's
not a
crazy.
basketball move.
That's nuts, dude. Look at the mayhem. Like, everyone's just running.
Yeah. And he didn't even attack. A fan he went after wasn't even the guy who threw the drink at him. Like,
Well, he gets confused. Now you know. Now you know his personality gets very easily confused.
No, he's a confused guy.
They offered him a DVD before the show started, and he said, why would I want to watch the show if I'm on the show?
Good point. Yeah, that's not bad.
And just last week when he was complaining, he's like, you won't vote me out of the house? I'm coming after you now.
He kind of hears this and that.
What's the back door? I mean, how was he agreeing to do this show then? Like, they gave him a short pitch and he's like, okay. Like, he just didn't look into
So
it.
I live in a house.
I'm guessing
do
he
that now.
thought it was like the surreal life or something like that, where you get to talk to people and like you're not shut off. He probably just didn't listen to everything. He just was like, oh, cool, sounds like a good idea. He also said, if I win HOH, I'm nominating Meta World Peace and Ron Artest.
Oh my God. It can't be done.
Look who's on the line right now. The one and only Tommy Johnigan. Tommy!
Woo!
Thank you, dude. Do we got you, buddy? No, we don't have him.
Oh, I'm here.
There you are. What's up, pal?
Are you there? Sorry.
Yeah.
He also said there's this Meta World Peace or Ron Artest story that just reminded me of. When they got in that fight, he fist fought fans in a Malice in the Palace, and they go into the locker room, and he's sitting there, and they're just dead silent, and he goes, you think we're going to get in trouble for that? So he's a fucking kid.
He is a kid.
I just had to say that. That was one of my favorite stories about the huge fight. He also became really close friends with the guy he fought. Did you guys know that part?
No. But I don't think he's the kind of guy to hold a grudge.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think things happen in the moment, and then they go back to everything's okay.
But he really has, like, the mind of a child. Like,
Yeah.
he's simple
It
and
is.
sweet. It's like,
He in his mind, he's a sixth grader, and he fought a sixth grader, and then they're friends by next recess.
Yes. That's how I was. That's how I made every best friend when I was in elementary school. We had a fight the first day, and then later you're just buddies. But you have to get that shit out of the way.
did he go to a fair and wish on a genie to be
Yeah.
big? Like, what are we dealing with here?
Even now, he would be 25. You know what I mean? All right, Tommy. Good to talk to you, buddy.
All right, you too. See ya.
Come back east. Ba-ba-ba-ba-doo. Meta World Peace. All right, I hope he wins this whole thing now. Oh, we're going to announce an Unmasked, which I consider to be Jen's dream Unmasked.
Yes, this is an exciting one.
I'm very excited.
Do we have like a whole thing to make the big announcement?
We don't have that ready today.
Oh, you want to wait then? Do we get it?
We can wait till we get it.
All right. We're going to wait and do production before we do it. But it's going to be a very, very, very exciting Unmasked. Two of Jen's favorites, and you said you couldn't even pick between the two.
I don't think I can. They're,
What if you had to? What if they were both drowning? Which one would you save?
Oh, that's tough. That's really tough.
You got 3 seconds and they both drowned.
Ooh.
3,
Michael.
2. Really?
Probably Michael.
Wow. I'm going to let them know that. While you're saying that.
Because they do appeal to like different sides of Jen.
Yeah. Yeah.
What sides? The Staten Island side and then the...
I don't know. There's like I feel like Jen has 2 aspects and 2 types, and they kind of play into
Both, yeah, that's very true.
both of those types, which are very different.
Bum, 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 bum. All right, let's break and back. Bennington. It's the Bennington Show. Monday. Tuesday, see?
Yeah.
I'm still on ankle time.
You are on ankle time.
Jeez, I feel sorry for me now. I was really feeling sorry for myself yesterday, too.
It's just such a sad feeling.
Yeah.
And such a bad feeling when you just want to go back in time and undo the horrible thing that has just happened to you.
I just wanted to call my mom, tell her the bad news.
Mom?
Mom.
You remember my ankle, right? Well, it's different now.
I always had good ankles, didn't I? Strong, healthy. I guess in a lot of ways I'm a hero. You know what I mean? I came back a hero.
You did, yeah. I mean, I couldn't believe that you gathered the strength to come in today. And
that's why I feel bad people kneel in front of the flag.
Mm-hmm.
And what about Pence not standing up at the Olympics?
Yeah.
I am not going to watch the Korean War now. I'm done with it. If you can't stand up for our veterans of the Korean War, if you can't stand up for Alan Alda, I don't know whether you saw this, but Omarosa was telling people in the Big Brother house, if you think Trump is fucked up, where do you get Pence? She goes, that maniac. She goes, I love Jesus, but he thinks Jesus talks right in his ear.
Like, she's like, you'll be begging for Trump.
Dude, I don't think I could ever agree more with Omarosa. I see Pence, and I'm like, Trump's okay, isn't he? Trump's doing all right. Yesterday, I had quite the scare because some maniac out there had sent Don Jr. cornstarch, and his wife opened it up. You stop fucking sending cornstarch, you maniacs.
Well, they're easy to confuse.
Maybe, what do you do with cornstarch anyway?
I think you can use it like a thickening agent in a sauce.
Right.
So if you add a little cornstarch
to
it, yeah, you're gonna get a thicker. Do you use it in a roux, perhaps?
I don't know.
I feel like you do.
I will say this: that's probably why they sent it. They probably said your gravies are way too thin. And basically, they look like an oil.
Yeah, they were
brown oil.
They were trying to be mean.
Well, when they said that she, first of all, I don't know why she opened up her husband's fucking mail. I wouldn't put up with that at all.
She must suspect him.
Why wouldn't she? It's fucking beautiful. Of course, the ladies are gonna love DTJ, but I knew right away I wasn't in bed because it's hard to get a hold of those chemicals. Very easy to get a hold of cornstarch.
Oh yeah.
And why don't they have people opening their mail?
Yeah, that seems like that.
We
should
have
be
that.
I know.
I remember when I worked at CBS, and the people were still sending mail in those days. This is like 17 years ago. And I guess it was 30 Rock had some dope sent to it. I don't know what the fuck it was. So after that, all the media companies started to open your mail. We're like, we get a lot of nude pictures. Careful with that. But anyway, everybody's all right. It was just cornstarch. Stop acting a fucking ass. It's cool. Is cool. What's in your wallet, Gail? What's going on there?
Well, the thing that's probably most pressing on my mind is the new Boston Dynamics.
Hate them. Let me just say this. Hate Boston Dynamics. And the
sick.
fucking government should step in. They are making things to kill us and our children.
Their latest release that they have just shown of a new, I'm going to say, evil robot dog that can open doors.
Shudder.
And the worst thing is, not only is it opening doors, they look like they're working together as a team.
Yeah, they're working in
there's,
tandem.
There's a moment here where he comes to the door, and it was like in Jurassic Park when the
Yes.
other ones call
Raptors.
over. Yeah.
Now, here's what bothers me. Right off the bat, that thing just walking scares me.
I don't like it.
That this thing's head is a door opener fucking freaks me out.
I don't like the way it moves, like when it tries to look at how it's creeping through the door too. Like,
Yeah, it's trying to get in before it even now look at that.
look at the politeness
And he
of
holds
it too.
it for another fucking killer dog. And on the side of that was some preschoolers that they tore to pieces.
I'm starting to think that Black Mirror has to stop because I think that they are using this as inspiration, not as a warning. Because this is exactly like from the most recent season, the Metalhead episode, where it was like those killer robot dogs and she's like trying to get away. This is exactly the same thing. It looked like that. It moved like that. It's so disturbing.
Here's what fucking freaks me out. I don't want this to happen, obviously. I do kind of want to see it.
Right, like you want to see it like as a movie.
No, I
But,
want to
like-
live in that for a while, even though I know it's the worst possible thing. Because, for my entire life, we've been watching movies about the future.
Yeah.
And now you're seeing the killer future. You're seeing iRobot.
It's about to happen. And
Yeah.
Boston Dynamics is going to be that evil company, that evil corporation.
Yeah, what was the evil company in Terminator?
Skynet.
Yeah, Skynet.
They're fucking Skynet. And wasn't there like a Cyberdyne?
Cyberdyne Systems begot Skynet.
You got it.
Oh.
Because Cyberdyne Systems created the Terminators, and then the Terminators created Skynet.
So Cyberdyne is the company.
It's
not-
Cyberdyne's the human company that
That's what I'm
Skynet-
saying.
yeah.
And who beget Abel?
That's the only time you've ever heard the guy. But here's the thing: Boston Dynamics is Cyberdyne.
Right.
And these dogs are Skynet.
Exactly.
What's terrible is they don't have battery packs on anymore. Because for a while, all the robots were like attached,
Yeah.
to the facility. But now that they're fucking,
They're
Look-
free roaming.
Thanks to Elon Musk.
Oh my God.
Did you
Look at
see how happy Elon was with that launch?
I
They were
didn't
Yeah,
follow
I think
up
it's
with
up on the iBang. They showed him is watching the thing, and you can see like he didn't know whether it was going to blow up or not. But he looked like anybody else, thinking that it was cool. All right, go ahead and hit it. So,
Holy fuck, that thing took off.
what did he say? Holy fuck, that thing took off.
yeah,
he
holy
says.
fuck.
Yeah. Now he's running outside. He's like a kid with the world's most expensive train set.
All systems currently green.
Falcon Heavy is configured for flight.
T-minus 15, standby for terminal count.
And he just does this on his own web network, right?
Yes,
And this was all running live?
yes, and he was streaming it out to the internet.
Listen to the people, so excited.
One.
Look at his face.
That thing took off.
Holy fuck!
He's as surprised as anybody.
Oh my God.
You see them both light up?
Oh my God, he's like a kid with a toy.
What? Look at that.
This is really like my favorite part when the rockets come back and land. I mean, for somebody who grew up when I did and saw those things just fall off.
Yeah.
And now know that they come back like in a movie.
Yeah.
Like a 1950s movie.
That's so weird looking. But now we've just saw the Skynet. Now this is our Iron Man. Like that's who he is.
Well, the fact that he thought of, I mean, it is the difference between him and NASA putting the first car into space.
Branding.
Playing Bowie. Now this came up. Go ahead and put that up, Chris. The car, the Tesla in space. The fact that it had "Don't Panic," on the front of it. This question came up, and I'm trying to wait till Chris gets it before I ask the question. Takes a while here at Skynet Studios. All right, go ahead. Go ahead and hit it. You have volume.
This feed doesn't have the.
Then that's not what I want. I want the whole thing to come across, so we can look at the whole piece together before I ask the question. Hey Troy, what's up? Whoops, let me try this one.
Just got over the flu. Thank you, Jen. I enjoyed my box set from Laughton while I had the flu that I won from you guys.
Oh, that's nice.
And she's awesome. She followed up the whole time through that. So that's the first.
She's a pro.
This is the first time I've ever heard someone say something nice about Jen.
Ron, you're so silly.
Yeah, I am.
Everybody loves
Silly
Jen.
I love Jen, and I've met her Trinidad and her Trinamom, and they're very nice too.
So this morning I'm watching TV and I see those creepy dog things. My kid's getting ready to leave for school, and that dog hooks its front left paw in the door and holds it while it grabs it.
Yeah.
And we all just went, oh no, this is. That's every horror movie.
Why allow people to do this? The government isn't going to let people fucking just make atomic bombs in their house. Why are we letting them do this?
It's so weird. It's so weird.
I tried to hang myself when I saw it.
Yeah, I'm glad I'm old. I'm not going to live long enough to have the robot dogs kill me.
Don't want to be there. Don't want to be
Y'all have a
there
good
for
day.
it. Peace, buddy. Hey, Steve, what's up, buddy?
Hey, Ronnie B.
Hey, man.
How you doing, man? I got to tell you, that show on Friday night was awesome.
Well,
your crowd work was friggin' phenomenal.
there was, well, see, here's what happened. So I'm on the stage, and it's very nice, and it's a mixture. It's our people. It's just, people who like Voss, people who like Jim, and it's also people who are patrons of the Playhouse, right?
Right.
So I walk out, the place is going nuts, and I could just see certain people going, you know what I mean? Like, huh?
Am I missing something?
And that was fucking cracking me up. So the place is sold out, and then as I'm, opening the show and I'm doing material, I just see these three dudes all coming down together. They look like they could have been on their way to fucking burning down Philly. They're each drinking a beer, you know what I mean? And I see the guy pointing over to where their seats are, and as they're heading on the other side of the theater, I can see the three of them heading to two seats, and I'm fucking dying. It's so damn funny.
They kept walking in front of the stage trying to find their seats. It was hysterical.
They were the best.
Construction workers, we were like 4 rows behind them, and I got to tell you, I had brought my girlfriend who knows nothing about Sirius, nothing about Voss, nothing about Jimmy. When that thing was over, she said, "Who is this guy, Ronnie B?" I said, "He's a friggin' rock god, man." It's so much fun. When we got out in the lobby, those 3 construction workers were out there, and they're like, "Who is that guy?" And everybody around them turned around and looked them straight in the face and said, "Are you stupid? That's fucking Ronnie B."
But you got to, we're on a, we have a wall between us and a lot of America. If you buy, you get it. It's like cable.
Yeah.
When people didn't all have cable, they didn't know who everybody was.
Unlike Trump, SiriusXM built it. We have the wall.
Yeah. All right. Thanks so much, buddy.
Thanks, guys.
Peace. But yes, I could see a great deal of that, of people going wild as well as people going, But a lot of Bennington listeners there.
That's so great. Yeah. I saw so many tweets. It seemed like it was just the best night.
Well, Florentine he's just the fucking funniest. He's got a book coming out of all his road stories, and he's just so bluntly funny about everything that he's ever done in his life. And then that thing with his kid is just, it's fucking gold. Who does? I mean, I was going crazy. You know what I mean? I couldn't wait. Like, the whole time fucking Florentine's on stage, I'm like, hurry up, man, get to Luke part. And then I'm sitting next to Luke. He's just sitting on this box in the wing, and he looks over at me and goes, I got about 5 or 6 jokes, and then I go out. He goes every night. He was at the Stress Factory. His dad took him just on the Wednesday, because he'll say to his dad, we don't have anything planned for tonight. There's nothing going on. So his dad now has to book gigs just to connect with his kid. And he's at the Stress Factory, and he says to the audience, this is the smallest stage I've ever been on.
God.
He's a character. And then Jim and me and him are sitting backstage and having some free cheese and crackers, just living the fucking life.
Oh, that sounds great.
So Jim's like, hey, he gets very good grades in school, and I talked to his teacher. He's a nice behaved kid. He knows the difference between, you can be on stage and be filthy, but it's school time. I'm like, yeah, you got to be professional. He goes like this. Look, what did I say to you, right? Professional, right? You heard Ronnie B. And I said to him, I do a radio show with my kid. I don't know what your dad's waiting for. And he's like, really? I go, yeah. He's going to think you two are the same age, but just go along with it.
Yeah, he met me and he thought we were the same age. That's
right?
That's my cross to bear.
Yeah, you do have to deal with that quite a bit.
I actually had a kid not long ago say to me, are you a kid or an adult?
That's hilarious.
I was like, I'm an adult, but I'm very short. And he's like, okay.
And you kind of act like a kid a lot of times. But a lot of people are doing shit with their kids now. Breakthroughs.
Yeah.
Breakthrough, Bennington Show.
It's like, it's kind of a callback because that's the way things used to be. You used to just go into the family biz.
Yeah, but, I don't think anyone ever did it from stand-up or radio. God knows all the actors did it, because what could be easier than acting? Someone gives you fucking paper and you're like, oh, all the great lines are right here.
And like, the hard part is people knowing your name, right? Like breaking through. And they're like, okay, we already know this person's name. This is great. And she knows all the lines.
Who doesn't know all their lines? That's the easiest thing in the world, is acting. Nothing's easier.
It's just pretend.
When is the Oscars? It's 2 weeks?
March 4th or something like that?
Yeah, it's about 2 weeks.
Have you seen everything, Vito?
No, I'm still catching up.
What do you got to see?
I have to see The Post. I have to
That's not
see.
gonna win anything.
I have to see Shape of Water and Call Me by Your Name.
Shape of Water is the main one that.
Two different people that I trust have begged me not to see that movie. Begged.
Really?
Yeah.
It's like one of those things, though. Like, I might not like it, but it'll drive me nuts if it does some kind of sweep, and then I don't have an opinion on whether or not it deserved the sweep.
I'm trying to think who the other person, Fez, and then somebody else that likes comic book movies and shit like that, monster movies. Can't think who the other person was.
G-Baby?
But I don't know. I don't think so. That they said to me, please, if you make me one fucking promise, don't see Shape of Water. And look, I could have already bought my tickets, be walking in, and someone says these stinks, and I'll turn around and walk out. It's the same way if I see a Yelp that said I found hair in my food. I'm out of there.
I also want to see Florida Project, which I think you can rent now.
It's on demand.
Yeah.
Something else pretty good is on demand too. I forgot what it is. Now you've seen most or some? of the movies?
I've seen some. Yeah, I've seen
What
some.
would you pick right now?
Uh,
What would be your best? Let's just your own favorite movie of the year.
I have a feeling that the girl movie, what is
Lady Bird?
Lady Bird. I think that movie is going to get something big that's unexpected. I don't know if it's going to be Best Picture, and I don't know if it's going to be Best Director, but I think it's going to be one or the other. It's not going to be both, and it's going to be...
My bet is going to be sound editing. I mean, I don't know who was doing the sound editing, but I'm like, there's a bird, okay? And I think I just heard a fire whistle.
They put that together.
Yeah.
I mean, normally those sounds...
I like my sounds divided. I don't like when they're... Here's James. James, what's up, buddy?
Hey, Ronnie B.
Hey.
Hey, Ronnie, I saw a documentary, excuse me,
Good.
Eric Clapton on Showtime, 2+ hours, and it was fantastic. I was wondering if you had seen it.
I've been too busy to see it, and I'm also having a show right now that I'm binge watching, so that fucks you up. But I'm definitely going to see it.
Okay, then I won't spoil anything, but
I don't know what you could spoil. I lived it. Clapton's been around my whole life. I mean, unless I find out he's Batman, I don't see what you could spoil. Great guitar player, loves the blues.
Well, there's a portion there that includes when he hooks up with Dwayne Allman, and
Yeah, Derek and the Dominoes.
Yes, but I had heard that actually that was Dwayne's album, and he pretty much took over the whole session. But I'd never heard Eric Clapton say that, and there's a couple of pretty cool reveals. Also, I had no idea that he had recorded with Aretha Franklin. There's a couple of bits of film in there with them in studios in New York with her playing piano and him playing guitar.
I feel like you've just ruined the entire documentary for me, James.
I didn't know any of this stuff.
Well, I'm looking forward to it. When I see it, I'll bring it up on the air, and then you call back in, all right?
Absolutely.
All right.
Take care, guys.
Peace. Here's Anthony in Iowa.
Hey, guys, thanks for enriching my life, number one. And I also wanted to ask if you are the Ronnie referenced in Elton John's Benny and the Jets.
I am. That was me and my girlfriend at the time, Candy. And, yeah, he was like Candy and Ronnie. And then, I'm going to tell you the truth, I'm also the Benny in
Right.
Benny of the Jets.
Interesting.
Yeah. And the Jets are the New York Jets.
Really?
Yeah.
You're
I
the
used to
coach now?
No, I used to just hang around with them.
Oh, okay.
I used to sell them steroids back in the 70s. Elton John is another guy who says he's going to stop touring after a 3-year tour.
Okay.
And a Vegas residency.
Yeah.
Oh, so that's what he's gonna do post tour?
He said he'll still do shows. Paul Simon said he'll still do
Right.
shows, though.
So I just have to go to you, is all they're saying.
Yeah. Which is the way it should be.
Yeah, that's reasonable.
Yeah.
You
I
hit
don't
a
want to
certain
see you
age.
here anyway. I don't like seeing local shows. I like traveling for my shows. The whole thing of Vegas seems so strange now that each neighborhood in America has their own fucking casino.
Yeah.
And I saw this what the fuck is the name of it? Is it Jake 58 is the Long Island Casino? And it just looks like any hotel you've ever been to in your life.
Yeah. I mean, those are...
They don't even
pretty-
put fucking people.
I know. They're pretty depressing. I went to the one... Oh, God. What is that one?
Look at Jake 58.
Oh, my God. This is amazing.
I had neither. I saw the commercial during one of the ball games.
Yeah, that's even rougher than the one I was referencing. This is the one that's like out by the track.
Oh, by
You mean a racino?
Yeah, it's a racino. That's by Aqueduct.
Yeah.
That's a rough neighborhood.
Is that
Please go to Jake 58 before we derail this. Now, there's other pictures, Chris, so we want to keep going through. Like, just look at the food and shit like that. It is so depressing looking.
God, yeah, that's just also that doesn't look like it's made in this time in any shape or form. Like that's like the building itself is like such a 70s building.
It's a brand new building.
That's so weird. That's so weird that that's a new building because it's so 70s
Look
style.
at that.
Look
That's
at
a casino.
and like the carpeting.
Like you're eating at an airport.
The carpeting.
When I did stand up at the Empire Casino in Yonkers, it was me and a bunch of oxygen tanks.
There's a lot of oxygen tanks in casinos. I'm not really sure why.
Well, smoking and gambling goes together. Now, also, though, it was really great because it was mixed race people. You know what I mean? Like,
Interesting.
you see that gambling does bring people together in
It
a very
does.
depressing way.
It does.
But
You're
look
all
at
on
that.
the same level.
This is awful.
Yeah, that's insane. That carpeting is so hilarious.
Looks like a cruise ship.
It does. All these things
Yeah.
have the tackiness of a cruise ship.
It does. Plus, you're adding like the no windows element, so it just seems like everything is probably bolted to the floor for some reason.
In case the fucking big wave hits.
So
I always
weird looking.
found a cruise casino to be as depressing as a cruise restaurant.
I have never been on a cruise, and I honestly think I don't know if I'll ever do it in my life because just the idea of it is so
sad.
Yeah, like trapped, and the people, and the type of food, and the type of entertainment.
It's mostly buffet, right? In the casino.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's buffet, and then it's like, you know, everything is like all you can eat because everything is all inclusive.
And it's all cheap.
Everyone's just binging on really bad food.
I hit up a cruise casino.
I
I
know.
was like 17, and I just gave my uncle all my winning slips.
He is actually, Vito is the youngest person I've ever heard say they love cruises. I've only heard like old married couples, like, we like meeting the other couples on the cruise.
This casino here looks like that if you lost some money, that the pit boss would come over and give you tickets to the AMC 25. Look, movies on us.
Man, you just don't see shit like that anymore. Like, and if you do, it's just old.
The fact is, you see this everywhere now. It's instead of going somewhere, one of these is in every county.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When you go to the Poconos, they're over there, and they're all not what we considered casinos.
No, they're all. Every one of them is the exact same thing. And the weird thing is, they have the video roulette and the video craps.
Yeah,
which is
'cause
just
there's
fucking bizarre.
There's no one really working.
No.
It's so strange.
It's all video. It's always the loop and a program telling you.
And
what
if they
number.
do have entertainment, it's always Eddie Money. Frank, what's up, buddy?
Yeah, Ronnie, how you doing? That Gig 58 hotel you're talking about, I've been there to check it out. It's a real shithole. It's like walking back into the 80s casinos, you know,
Sure.
the tacky carpets. You got the senior citizens, you know, all ganged up on these slot machines. It's really bad.
Well, that was when Vegas first hits, everybody was thinking that was the classiest thing you could do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There wasn't the elderly walking around there. You know, these were young, but young people have zero interest in the casino other than Vito.
When I went to Vegas, the last thing I would think is that you would want a casino in your hometown. You're like, how can we make Vegas less classy and more depressing?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the few things about Vegas that aren't that are not in these like local casinos.
Hey, Chris in Wisconsin. Chris, what's up?
Hey, Bennington. So I think that there's a big Best Picture nominee that's missing from both you guys and the Academy.
What is it?
And I wanted to see if you guys have seen Paddington 2.
No, I'm not going to
Best
see him.
film of the year.
No, I won't say cartoons.
It's really weird because I literally met an adult who said the same exact sentence to me, like not joking, at a dinner party, and they were like, I actually started to giggle because I thought it was a joke. And they were
sounds like-
asking another couple, like, did you guys go see Paddington 2? And they're like, yes, we have a child. And they're like, we loved it. And they're like, you guys went? And they were going on about how he was like, this is the best film of the year. And I was like, what is he talking about? And he's like, I have to see Paddington 1 now. It was so good. I thought I was going
This
crazy.
is why I went North Korea to get us. Chris, what are you doing over there, Stanley? Did you pull it down?
I pulled it down for a moment.
And now?
Now it's up.
But he's gone because he didn't think anybody could hear him. Eric in Pittsburgh.
Guys,
Hey,
you
buddy.
gotta go on a cruise. It's a lot of fun.
I've been on cruises. A fucking nightmarish. It's like being at a trailer park, but it's in the
Wow.
water. It's like, I wish it was just floating trailers. Then I'd be happy.
I saw a commercial for some new massive cruise, and then they just did this shot of kind of this like arena seating that's outside, and I'm like, that looks terrifying. I don't
they
know
put tons
why.
of people out there.
It looks so scary to me.
That shot, and then if you look, there's like a water slide that goes like under the cruise ship and stuff.
Why would you want any of this?
Wait, what are you talking about? A water slide that goes under? You're on the ocean side?
Not under the, like, there's a big ledge, and then it
What
goes.
are you talking about? Give it so Chris can look it up.
It's the new big cruise ship. It's called Enchantment. I gotta look up the name. It's Royal Caribbean.
You got to talk into the mic.
It's Royal.
Dude,
it's
you're on the air.
It's a Royal Caribbean cruise. It's like the new largest cruise ship.
Why would anyone want to be on the largest cruise ship? These things look like government housing, and but it's floating. And that's why, like, a flu will go through these things, and everybody has to stay in their rooms. Like, how is this relaxing?
Harmony of the Seas.
Harmony of the Seas.
I was on Enchantment of the Seas. Looks like the same exact thing. Except
yeah.
it's a double tube.
Might be
Yeah, first of all, you're out in the ocean, and they put you in a tube where you can't get any of the air.
I don't want
And that's
that.
what he's like. And by the way, nothing is going under the
So,
ship.
Look
here.
up Symphony of the Seas. I'm sorry.
What the
Symphony? Look up Symphony of the Seas. Go to Google Images, and you're going to see exactly
All right,
what
we're
I
going
mean.
to. We're going right now. All right, there's the
All right,
tube.
Don't look up water
That's
slides. Also,
disgusting.
just look up Symphony of the Seas by itself.
Christ. Why
Chris, you're fucking up. Now look at all this wacky neon.
Oh my
top
God.
left. That was what I was talking. It was like going under the top of the thing.
Top of what thing?
The
It's
fucking
going.
cruise ship.
You're going from one level to the
See,
other.
this is what he's
You
trying
don't. You're not. You're getting off a different level than you started. Yeah, we see it. Yeah.
I just don't want to be floating in free air in a water slide. That seems terrible. At a rocking ship, I don't like. This is one cruise ship I won't go on.
This is one cruise.
This is the only cruise we will not.
By the
go
way,
on.
you don't have to get on that fucking water. I don't think you can fit in that tube anyway.
Yeah, last time I went on a cruise, I was pushing the weight limit. Now I'm
But
definitely.
this is the exact opposite of why I would want to be at the ocean. It is a giant, enclosed fucking horror show.
It's really
that's
scary.
floating.
Well,
Yeah, I don't want to be in a floating mall for a week.
These cruise ships have like full buildings on top of them now.
It's not good. It's not a good thing.
No.
That's a tragedy waiting to happen. And also, again, did we learn nothing from Titanic? I don't think that there's enough rescue boats for this. It just doesn't.
Oh,
Look
they're
at
all
the
dead.
amount of people. Look at the
Dude,
amount of
I would
people.
rather drown than be on that fucking cruise.
Night one on a cruise ship, they all make you go line up and look at like the lifeboats you'll get on if there's a crash.
Yeah, they have to. Yeah, that's part of the. But it's the same as like when they try to tell you on a plane. You know,
Not
like
listening.
here's the lie to feel better about yourself.
You already hear people
Here's your
snoring.
exits. Unless you're on fucking South at West, and then it's like, well, my name is Kelly, and I'm here to say we're gonna be your cruise today. Grant in Florida, Grant.
And I'm here to say.
Yeah, any industry that thinks Kathy Griffin's a good hook is I want to be.
What are they? Was she host cruise ships?
Oh Jesus, she used to sing about this shit in the '80s, trying to that got people on board. Jesus Christ.
I thought it was the Love Boat that exploded it all. And I don't know why the cruise industry just doesn't pay for that to come back.
I've
you know?
never seen an episode of The Love Boat. I just know what it is, but I've never seen it.
It's weird because you remind me of Julie, who was on The Love Boat.
I don't know if that's a compliment or not.
She was like entertainment director or something. And then there was one black bartender. He just had a small bar.
Was he wise?
No, he was hip and cool.
Okay.
I forget what his name was. I think it was Petey Joe. Hey, it's our old buddy Matty Fridays. Hey, Matty.
Gentlemen, how are you? Oh, gentlemen, ladies, I should say, how are you today?
Yeah, good.
My parents just recently had a big anniversary, and what they want to do was they want to take me and my brother and our entire family to a cruise, and they don't understand why my brother and I are like completely against it. It's the same reasons that you're stuck on a boat with people from flyover country. You don't want to deal with them. You don't want to be on a set schedule. It's just insane. My parents are like, oh, it's so great. We've heard from all of our other friends about how great it is. That's because you guys are old. You know, I mean, it just doesn't make any sense anymore.
The set schedule is the weird thing. And I was on a cruise years ago that took us to this, it went around the Bahamas, right? So they all take us, like, I think there must have been a little boat or a little boat that took us in, but to this island, right? And it's gorgeous. So there's a reef there that you can snorkel. So me and my chick, we run over, we're getting the snorkeling stuff, we're heading out on the reef. And the girl's like, no, not yet. First, we stay here, we do a luau, and there's going to be like a Buddha belly contest and a fucking go under the limbo. And I go like this, yeah, right. We head out. It's the most beautiful reef. We're having a blast. We're out there for hours by ourselves. All of a sudden, we're underwater, and all this crashing comes in, and it's time to bring that group over.
Oh my god!
And they're all fighting, and she's like underwater, trying to go like, look at this. I'm like, what? You don't need her to tell you to look at a fucking fish. You can do it yourself.
God, that's so weird. I would hate that. Plus, it's not like one of the best things about going on vacation. If you're in a place and then you're trying, like, going to different restaurants or eating different kinds of food. So instead, you just have like the same, like, you got like a dining hall and then like a cafe, and you just keep eating at the same place over and over. Like, this is so depressing.
Yeah, and it was like that the whole time. And then somebody's always taking pictures of you and then hanging them up, and then you're supposed to buy those pictures. Yeah, I mean, it was insane. Thanks, Maddie. Now, you know, they run those cruise ships through the rivers in Europe now.
Yeah.
So you can get on one and then tour Europe from the rivers.
Right.
But I'm like, yeah, but you're eating at that place instead of all these little restaurants in Europe.
Yeah.
You know?
That sounds terrible.
Hey, Raul, you're on the air.
Yeah, Ronnie B. Hey, you were saying about the bartender on the Love Boat. That's Isaac, I believe.
Isaac, you're going into the pretty good prize closet, my friend. Dallas, you're on the air.
Hey guys, I just want to say I'm 24 and we just went on a cruise around Christmas time with 57 of my family members and friends. We're the largest group on the boat, but the one way to get through it is you just got to get the unlimited drink package and stay drunk all 7 days.
Well, people do that, you know what I mean? And that always kills me, that when you go to a beautiful place and then you're so hammered that you're like, why don't you stay hammered at your house?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, what you really want to do is get fucked up.
The idea of just like being hungover in a tropical place, it's so hot.
First of all,
that was the last day for me, and that was terrible. But up to that point was great.
I can't imagine being on a vacation with 57 relatives.
No,
now that sounds worse than a cruise.
And even if you're the type of person who wants to go on vacation with your relatives, then at that point with 57 people, you're going to be getting off the boat like, "Hey, I'm sorry we didn't catch up more.
Obviously.
I didn't get a chance to talk to you."
know what it's like to have 57 relatives.
No.
I mean, you got to be so distant from most of them. How many of those relatives are you close to?
Oh, about half. And then the other half was just folks that, like, we met. My aunt, anyone that she met and talked to, she just invited. So no joke, the waitress at our favorite Japanese restaurant was on the cruise with us.
Your family is way
my
too
God.
outgoing for me.
That's
way
insane.
too social. Way too social, my friend. All right. Let's go over here to Jonathan. Jonathan, what's up?
Hey guys, how's it going?
Cool.
Me and my wife, we actually go on a cruise a couple times a year, and we enjoy it quite a bit. But at the same time, we're kind of hermits ourselves, and we just kind of stay in our room. You know, I take my vape with me. We have a great time. You get the munchies. You go out and eat. You get 24-hour room service. But I do get what you're saying about that place being a tragedy waiting to happen.
Oh, yeah. Now, do you you have your own balcony and stuff?
Always, every time.
So you just kind of lay out there and enjoy the sun?
Pretty much. We listen to the ocean, we chill out, and we're from Miami, Florida. And if you guys have ever been here, one thing about Miami is everybody treats you like shit here.
Yeah. Wow.
So it's really nice to be treated nice.
You like to be waited on hand and foot. That you love that, right?
At times, yeah, but at the same time, I realize how hard all those people on the ship work, especially.
Yeah, they do, and a lot of them like sleep underwater, basically. Like the fucking because I've been down there for like in comedy. You have to go down underneath the thing, but people like those fucking South Americans, they're down a couple more fucking floors.
Right.
Yeah. But I will say this.
And they made it get a bad rap, but I really enjoy every comedian I ever see. I always make sure to catch the comedy show, and I always enjoy the shit out of it every time. I don't know why, doing comedy on a cruise ship gets a bad rap at all.
Well, for a couple reasons. Number one is that you have to work clean. And then two, they'll get those guys to call bingo or, you know what I mean, some extra stuff. And they're supposed to be nice to people. But there is no reason. I mean, they're all pros. They're all really, you got to be really good to go out there.
I'm sure, yeah.
You got to be like a good kind of TV comic. And guys make livings doing that. Guys that you've never heard of in your life go out and make a living.
They do a great job at it. And, hey, thank you guys very much for your show, and I really enjoy it.
Thanks, man. Peace.
Thanks. Have a good one.
And obviously, people like cruises, or they wouldn't be building. This is us busting balls. But people must just love the shit out of cruises because they're building them bigger and bigger. This thing is like if you took a Vegas hotel and stuck it in the ocean.
It looks like there's a ramp for skateboarding at the very top of this thing.
That's the Wave Runner. That's where you simulate surfing. There's also a mini golf course on this cruise ship.
When's the last time you and your mom went out on a cruise? That's who you always went with, right?
Yeah. We went family trips like 5 years ago, the summer before I interned here, so 5 years ago.
No. And you used to brag that you would become the most popular guy on the cruise.
I was a pretty big hit on the cruise ship.
You'd be like the fun Bobby of the cruise.
You want to work on a fucking cruise ship, dude.
I could live that life going to the free buffet every day.
You are living that.
Plus, you're already like a hype man for parties for kids. Like you would like.
It's time to move to the adult level. I can host the best legs competition and the 3 p.m. slot on the main pool deck.
Don't forget, everybody, ping pong tournament coming up. We've already got 1,400 people signed up for it.
1,400 Oh my God. See, I know I wouldn't like it because only a couple years ago was the first time my boyfriend and I ever went to a vacation where it was like a resort vacation in Mexico. And it was because, somebody is a share own. I don't know. He gave us his room, basically. So when we were there, we were there for, I would say, about a half a day. And I was like, I get it. Now it's time to be in Mexico. Like I get it for like a half a day, but it started to get really weird and intense.
Well, there's a lot of people who want to go to the DR, but are afraid of the DR. Jamaica is the same way. Belize, all those kind of things. You're in a very nice prison.
Yes, in a bubble, and it is all like you'll be laying by the pool, or you'll be swimming, and you'll be like, "This is pretty nice," and then all of a sudden, someone's like on a megaphone, being like, time for the limbo contest. And you're like, holy shit, this is not fun. Like, please, everyone just be quiet.
And there are some people that need other people to make them have fun. You know what I mean? Like, oh, is it drinking time? I don't know. Whenever I want it to be, I think I'll make it drinking time.
And like, again, like the novelty of a swim up bar is only fun for like one drink. Like the first time you do it, you're like, woo!
Yeah.
So I just swam up and I got my little drink. And then you're just sitting here in this warm water drinking
Warm because
alcohol.
everyone around you is pissing in it.
I know. And then you're like, this is kind of gross. I mean, when you're at a bar and you were at a dive bar, you don't wish that this was a pool in which you could be sharing the same liquid as the people sitting next to
That's
you.
disgusting. It's literally a dive bar.
It is. It really is.
This is strange. So when I was in Ridgefield the other day, right? I never saw this before. I go in, I wanted to get something to eat right before the show. And there was like a little gastro pub nearby. I mean, this whole town looks like a soap opera. Should take their place there. I mean, it's really nice and attractive people and nice homes and all. So I go in there and the bar is packed. Just about all women sitting at the bar, and they were all drinking wine. And I'm like, I've never seen fucking wine. I was fucking hover around a bar. You know what I mean? And they weren't like cruising dudes. And they weren't exactly like, hey, it's fun girls' night. It's like these chicks.
They're just like,
they go and fucking drink. And they drink wine.
And they were like that's their version of like, I just got out of work. I need this glass of wine. Everyone to leave me the fuck alone.
7 glasses of wine. I'm going home and passing out. But we're making fun of these package vacations. And it would be a lie for me to say that I'm not into it in a way. Me and high school buddies, we get together every year, sometimes almost every 2 years, and we all go to Westworld. And I don't know whether it's the shooting or the raping of robots that's fun, but you just get a fucking chance to be somebody else,
Yeah, it just sounds a little weird, though, that you're just raping and fighting people next to your friends.
Well, like I always say, until you've blown someone's head off while they were blowing you, you don't know what Westworld is all about. And I'm always saying like this, don't shoot them from the tram. Let's wait till we get there and have some fun. Here's Ocean Jerk from Long Island.
Ronnie B, $1 million.
Yeah.
So I hate cruises. They fucking suck. Everything about them suck. I once was on a cruise, get off in Jamaica, got a little too fucked up, and I missed the time, like the arrival time you had to get back on the boat. Oh boy, did it suck. I had to get back on a little dinghy with really sketchy dudes. Cruise fined me $30, $32.
That's not that bad.
And everyone hated me when I got back on the boat.
Sure. I hate you now. I wasn't even there. And I hate you.
I just like the idea of you on a dinghy with a sketchy dude.
Yeah.
Oh, it was real sketchy.
All right, peace. Brad said Jake 58 is not a new building. It was a Marriott forever. And they just slapped the Jake 58 sign on it.
Why Jake 58?
Well, I know it's exit 58 on the Long Island Expressway. I don't know where the Jake comes from.
Jake is just the dude.
I'm trying to think. Here's what happened. I've been watching the NFL Network pretty nonstop since the Super Bowl. Sure. I have never been as ready to go over a game over and over. But, I called my parents the other day, and they had just watched the replay on the NFL Network, and we're loving it. The NFL Network runs it without the commercials.
It's so great.
So it's much faster, and they both were back to telling me how much they fucking hate Chris Collingsworth.
Good.
My dad said this. He goes, I know it's just a game, but that guy should die. He tried to make that about himself. Chris Long said some shit about him, too.
Oh, really? What did he say?
He just said he's a fucking idiot, and he tried to spoil it for Eagles fans.
He did.
And he also said that it was Chris Long's job to follow Brady out on that fucking pass, and he's going, since when? When does the fucking tackle break off and follow the quarterback? That would be insane. I like Chris Long for that reason.
I love him.
I sent you all that stuff last night, too, of stuff from the parade. You guys are still enjoying?
So much.
I cannot find the video that I watched, though, I think either that night or the next night. And that was these kids in Philly, and they're watching the end of the game. You got a lot of people on YouTube that are just watching the end of the game and cheering. But then they opened their door and started to head out into the street with their, with the video still on. And you could see people coming out of their homes.
That's awesome.
And everybody was just like, yeah, and running down the street and fucking, and it was just this. The only way that you could think that would be closed that if the war was over. I know what people did.
Right.
And that's the weird thing. That's why I think sports are set up that way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
For this release of stress.
It is, yes. And I think a release of stress, and I think in the case of men, a release of emotion. Sadness, anger, whatever. All the stuff that you can feel, disappointment, joy, tears of joy.
Right.
All those things are not so accessible for men, but it's like
it's
a nice
true. It's
way.
hard to get to.
It's a nice way for you guys to tap into it.
Like, Chris, is it easy for you to tell Vito that you love him?
No. Well, I don't love him,
But you know that if you guys just won a game together, you might say that, right?
that would be much easier. Yeah.
Yeah.
To accomplish.
And Vito, is that hard for you to say to Chris, I love him?
It's only hard because he will never say it back to me.
You could say it, right?
Yeah, I can say I love you to Chris.
Just do it right now.
Hey, Chris, look in my eyes right now.
That's creepy.
I love you so much, like a brother, like a big brother, and I love you, and I love seeing you every morning,
Stop
and I
saying
love
that.
sometimes. You know what? I'm gonna start texting you at night, saying good night, also, because I love you so much.
That's really creepy to me.
Now, instead of being creepy, right?
Yeah.
Imagine you guys just achieved something.
Okay.
Let's say you won a Super Bowl or just did production for the big Unmasked, like we keep saying we're going to do, right?
Yeah.
And it came off great. So, without stretching it out so long, just try it this way. Tell Chris you love him, and then Chris, you tell Vito that you love him.
Okay.
Go ahead, Chris. Go ahead, Vito.
I love you, Chris.
And I love you, Vito.
No! Why don't you blow him? Why don't you blow him? Vito, you must be looking great with your lost weight. Because guess who wants to have sex with you? Chris.
It was just an achievement.
Look who loves me back, loser.
Taking jizz in the face is not an achievement.
That's just a way of life for you,
There's
dude.
a lot of people coming by and they all want to wave today.
I know, it's like, there's a lot going on out there. Everyone's.
There's a fishbowl event.
Oh, yeah, major one, right?
Yeah.
Is it happening right now?
It's happening right now.
And what is it, the Black Panther?
Black Panther. Michael B. Jordan's here. Chadwick Boseman's here. Lupita Nyong'o's here.
You guys want to take a walk down and take a look at it?
I like to see it.
All right, we're going to go look at Black Panther. We'll be back in, I'd say 70 minutes. No, we're not going to like that long. It'll just be a regular commercial break. But we've got some friends coming in who opened up a new comedy club.
It's Nina Savage and Gina Ash. That's West Side Comedy Club. It's on 75th and Amsterdam here in New York City. WestsideComedyClub.com.
Well, thank you, Chris. See you later on the cruise ship. We'll be right back. Bennington.
Welcome back to Bennington. Gina Savage and Nina Ash from West Side Comedy Club are here in studio. West Side Comedy Club's on 75th Street in Amsterdam here in New York City. Go to westsidecomedyclub.com for tickets and showtimes.
Great to see you guys. A lot of great buzz on what you're doing.
Thank you.
And for years, I was like this. What is it about comedy that is only a downtown thing? For years, even though years ago all the big clubs were uptown, but is that what got the idea of going to the area on the Upper West Side?
Well, it's funny you said that because we kind of fashioned it after, the downtown clubs. So
right.
It's very like dark and kind of, close and cozy.
Well, you feel like it's a place that's been around for a long time,
right?
Which is part of the appeal, I think, of West Side. It's like, hey, why haven't we discovered this cool spot that you would think would be downtown, but now is on the Upper West Side?
Well, you guys did you both start at Caroline's years ago, or what happened there?
We did. That's where we met.
Yeah.
Many, many, many moons
What
ago.
year are we talking about?
Ooh.
90-something.
Yeah, early 90s. So early 90s.
Yeah, very early.
We
90s.
all look
Right.
the same, though. We look the exact same.
Right when the boom kind of died out, right? So
It's funny. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was kind of like the 80s thing, all the big comics that had been touring in the 80s.
Yeah.
Like it was really weird to have them come, and then it was, not really happening for a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. But that was, like our Wall of Fame, like what we call it, the Wall of Fame, like the people that were coming up at that time, like the David Tell, like the Jim Gaffigan.
Right.
That was our class. That was our graduating class.
Exactly.
So that is funny too about comedy, that there is always a class, isn't there? There's a bunch of guys and girls that go through things at the same time, and everything is based on whatever their era was. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the old Boston guys are still like the old Boston guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The LA people from the 70s are still the LA people from the
They're
70s.
like gangs.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
And they all think that their style of comedy is the one that should be done.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
that's true.
Like the Seinfeld and his group still do their comedy very similar to what they did when they found their voice. None of them went, I'm 60 now. Maybe a prop is in order. What am I, crazy? But it is true that they stay with whatever that was. And, here's what's always weird about comedy. I saw Attell just the other night. I saw him twice in the last couple months. I think he's way better now than he was in the 90s. I think he's way better.
Yeah.
I don't know whether everybody is going to see it the same way. You know what I mean? Because I don't know whether if you're 24, you're looking for, but it's killer.
He's amazing, and he's such a comic. Like I've sat with comics, watching him, going, "Oh man, like I'm just so jealous."
Right.
I just wish I could do that.
I think also, like, just like you said about the class, how that affects the comedy and that stays with them. Whoever is in that kind of mentor position has an effect on the younger group as well. Whoever those people are who are attainable enough to get to have a conversation with, but legendary in their minds. I think that also has,
and they're never going to, in their mind, never going to catch them.
Exactly.
Like you'll never see Big J go, okay, I finally passed the tell. So what's next? You know what I mean? Like
I was literally going to mention Big J because Big J was coming up at the time. Attell was already there, and it was like those kind of guys that were looking up to him. But he will never feel that. He will never
feel that kind of thing of, well, I shot past him like a rocket. But it was weird. I was talking with Attell the other night about Big J, and we're like, how weird Big J's crowd work has gotten. And it's very unique, just him. Probably even shouldn't work. You know what I mean? Like it's being so, it looks like he's not working at all, which goes to show he must be working a lot, and that takes how many, I mean, you guys have developed comedians over the years. How long do you think that takes to find that voice?
Well, honestly, even when I was coming up, behind the scenes, working at Caroline's or Barry Katz at the Boston Comedy Club, we would always have this thing where it would take 8 years, like 8 years before someone was really seasoned. You could see them developing it too. You could say, okay, this is a new face for Montreal. Right. But that person's not going to be great. Yeah. Great for like another 3 to 5 years. So somewhere between that, when they really, you need to get the shit kicked out of you.
Yeah, you really do. So is New Faces at Montreal, do you think that's a waste of time?
No.
That they go out of their way to find 23-year-old people where come back when you're 31 anyway?
No, I don't think so. I mean, I think that it's still a prestigious event. It's great to go. It's great to network, and you never know. So no, I think anything you could do to propel your career. Yeah, whatever it is.
It's so hard for them to get seen. So I think any place where they can have people in the business that can maybe somewhere along the line do something for them, it's a good thing.
Has anybody surprised you when you saw them when they were young and didn't think there was anything there, and then as the years go by, you're like, oh no, something's really big is happening?
Well, I don't know if it was a total surprise, but I do remember, I don't know if you remember, Gina, Jim Gaffigan used to stand in the back just begging to get like 5 minutes on.
Wow.
Like he wouldn't even be on the show.
Yeah.
And like they'd maybe give him a guest spot, but he was so persistent. And he would just.
So the drive had a lot to do with it. The drive is crazy.
It's so much to do with it because I still get amazed when a comic like a Jim Gaffigan or I don't know who just anyone, even Seinfeld will still show up and do 15, 20 minutes because they're working on a new
Chris
set,
Rock,
or Chris or
Now you guys are pretty new up there. Have you had anybody drop by yet that is like?
Sure.
Who's it been?
Well, we've had Bill Burr coming in.
That was a huge one.
And he is the guy now. Bill Burr
is the man.
He is the man.
Yeah.
That was a good one because he's
a friend.
He's a friend, and he came out to support us, and he did. He basically did a headliner show for us. Announced it, on his podcast,
Very
and
cool.
it was mayhem, and people were like scrambling to get in. We had Dave Attell stop by.
Dave,
we had
Artie's been
Artie
by.
Lang has been
Cool.
by. They've just been really
Tracy.
supportive.
Tracy Morgan.
Tracy Morgan.
So we're getting there.
Yeah.
Well, Tracy Morgan, I think, is.
I want to
somebody-
make this my home club, Gina.
Is that what he said?
I had to do it. Okay.
A lot of people who don't know comedy
Right.
know Tracy Morgan. You know what I mean? Like you will see people even on the street freak out
Right.
to see Tracy. Where Burr is as high as you could get with comedy fans, but not yet that thing where people like Amy is a person who's crossed over
Right.
until you don't have to know comedy at all
Right.
to know Amy has
That
a new
you're-
boyfriend was in the paper today.
Right.
Yeah.
If you have TV, if you go to like if your aunt just like knows
Yes.
someone, then
Yeah.
you're like, okay, then that person's reached that level of fame because there
An
is
uncomfortable
fame
amount of fame.
Right.
An uncomfortable.
Exactly.
Can't necessarily go to a Target style of fame.
Yeah, because I even wonder how many comics are after that versus not, because that seems to divide.
It's like two different things. Like there's the ones that get that sitcom and and
Yeah.
that's
Right.
it, and then they never go back to it again.
Yeah.
And then there's the ones like Brian Regan, who is like just that is his career. He is this sells out these stadiums, and that's what he does.
But you know what? I think he would have wanted a sitcom.
He
Because I was talking to him once, and I go, "You never did a sitcom," and he was like, "Yeah, I know. I don't know what it is about Hollywood. They just didn't like me." I thought that he was better than a sitcom. I didn't think that Brian could
Right.
sit there and do the lying necessary
But
to
it
be
does-
a sitcom actor.
I blame the Illuminati. Let's go back to the
He's
Illuminati.
the funniest man alive.
Who, Brian?
I love him.
He's just unbelievable.
He's
and has
remarkable.
always been that way. Just always been the best writer.
But it does seem like if you were a TV producer, if you were in any position of power, that would be such an easy thing to go.
Dude, I feel like
this
if-
is perfect for a sitcom.
I feel
he
like
just seems
any of the people that we've just mentioned, I could make a
Yeah.
sitcom or a movie about. It would be easy enough to take Bill Burr and make it like a comedy drama where he's a cop from Boston in LA solving crimes, being mean to local people. Boom. We're going to have a top 5 show. That's simple. Regan and his kids and he's screwing up at home. Boom. A show. It's done. Give me a studio and I'll just, I'll have these things just cranking out 3 hit shows a year. But we were talking about Amy. It seemed like she was going to be a star right before she was. You know what I mean? It seemed like she had that. Again, there was a lot of drive there as well.
Definitely. And I saw that I was working at Gotham Comedy Club at the time when she was doing like the open mics and sort of coming up there. But yeah, she was definitely charming and,
Right.
A go-getter.
See,
go-getter.
again, that's it. She had that same thing.
In all the 20 some odd years that I've been in comedy, we've never really crossed paths, but I will say Lisa Lampanelli is one of those people that all right, well, depending on, what you consider funny, right? It didn't matter what you thought, she was going to do whatever it took to get there. And that's the same with Kevin Hart.
Yeah.
Kevin was like that too.
I said about
And
Kevin
Kevin's
Hart,
yeah.
if he would have went into, the drugstore business or whatever, he was going to have 18 of them within a year. You know what I mean? Like there is a real outside of comedy drive that he has, a sales drive. He's just going to be a winner. He's going to do it. Lisa Lampanelli, to me, is truly one of the most interesting people because so tough and yet so sensitive, so driven, but any kind of pebble in the road can be a real speed bump for her. I mean, you could see her almost immediately struggle with. I went to see the play that she did. I thought she was unbelievable in it.
She was great.
Unbelievable in it.
But she is somehow both like tenacious and vulnerable at the same time.
But most comics are like that, but because they're males, they hide it with alcohol or drugs or running or workaholism, where I think women are a little more willing to share.
Yeah.
That ouch, that hurt. You know what I mean?
I think that's true.
Yeah, that makes sense to me.
And that's why I think that Lisa is such a great kind of insult comic because she can be stung. You know what I mean? You can see the whole story when she's on stage. You can see every part of her. You know, when she's on stage.
It seems almost like if you know what would hurt when you cut someone, you might actually be better at figuring out what would be the truly cruel thing to say to someone.
Yeah. Well, that's, like being in a family. Anyone who's in a family knows that those people can get to them and they can get to them.
You don't hurt anyone more than your loved ones.
Yeah, that was breakfast.
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
Chris, you don't plug anymore? What's the story with you?
Gina Savage and Nina Asher in studio. They run West Side Comedy Club, which is on 75th Street in Amsterdam here in New York City. Go to westsidecomedyclub.com for tickets and all showtimes.
Now, Vito, speaking of that, did we know what guy from Black Panther was crying?
It was Chadwick Boseman.
What?
And what made him cry?
Nobody knows because the audio's only in there. So it was just a question. Apparently he ran out and then nobody knows.
Well, he cried for a while because I was standing upstairs where the bathroom is. I was looking down. I saw him start to cry. Then he got a tissue and then he left.
Yeah, he had to excuse himself. So whatever it was, it really, really got to him.
Yeah.
It was heartbreaking.
We were sitting right there and we missed the whole
Yeah. Missed it.
We're so into ourselves.
Yeah.
We were
I was
just
taking selfies in the lobby area.
I think he turned out to be the first. The thing that got to him, he was the first African American actor of all time, and he's in this. Yes, it's exciting. It's exciting. They're acting now, but this Black Panther is going to be the biggest goddamn movie. I had no idea. People are freaking out.
No, my husband, as soon as I walked in here and saw the entire cast, I was like, I got to text him because he is losing his mind over this movie.
Why?
And
Why?
He's very excited that there's this black superhero, like strong role models.
Is it a new superhero, Vito?
I mean, it's not a new superhero, but he was just introduced to like the Marvel universe like 2 movies ago.
Introduced to the Marvel universe. As a comic book, where does it exist?
Yeah, this has been a comic book.
It came out when?
Yeah, this has been around forever, this comic book.
Marvels.
Right, well, I should tell you, like, he was a fan when he was a kid. So
he's a
it was
comic
at
book
least
guy.
in the 60s. Yeah.
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 All right. See, I didn't even know about him. And Black Panthers were people. You know what I mean? Like that was a gang, and not a gang. It was like a group. And then all of a sudden,
It's a movement.
Yes. Thank you. Movement is what I was looking for.
Took me a minute.
But this has nothing to do with that, right?
No, just by name.
There's
He's
no
from
Oakland.
No, he's from Wakanda, which is the most technically.
He's actually an African, not African American.
No, it's from Wakanda. It's not in Africa. It's like the most technologically advanced planet in the Marvel universe.
Oh, okay. Another planet.
And it's the biggest pre-sale in Marvel movie history. This is
who was the beautiful woman that was there? You pointed out
Lupita Nyong'o, who just looked so stunning.
Now, what was she in before?
Oh, she was in Was she in 12 Years a Slave?
She was 12 Years a Slave.
And she was also in another role. I can't remember, another kind of Oscar-y type role. But she is just so stunningly beautiful. Like it's hard not to look at her as she was sitting there.
And you said you saw her before somewhere?
Yes, when I was managing a restaurant, she came in, and
That
it
was like
very...
your Tracy Morgan.
It's also so beautiful.
Why isn't Tracy in this movie?
You can't take your eyes off him.
It is true, though. You can see why some people are stars. Like, when Tracy is there, it's very hard to not pay attention to everything that he's saying.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I got a lot of money, G. Just like whips out this. Like, what? Where? Huh?
And his voice
a lot of
carries.
money.
His voice carries. So
Yeah.
he was standing in the back of the room waiting to go on, and people were turning around because they were like, wait, I know that voice.
All right, how did he do on stage? Was he solid?
Yeah.
He's always solid is, I don't know if that's the word for Tracy. It's he's just always, you're always mesmerized by what's going on with him. It's because you're just watching somebody's mind do things you never thought a mind could do.
Right.
So it's always interesting.
And somebody was saying to me, like they were like they saw him on something and they're like a little concerned because thinking the accident did something. I go, no, I had him in before the accident. He's pretty consistent to where he's always been.
Yeah.
Don't worry about him. That's Tracy. That's the guy who was on his third TV show now. And he was actually, the last time I saw him, he goes, he gave me this whole thing that if they go to see you in the movies, they like you, but if they see you on TV, they love you because you're welcome into their house. And I'm like, oh, that's interesting. And he goes, I'm like Lucy. I guess somebody else should say that, but okay, I'm going to buy into it. But you shouldn't be the one. You guys are also doing Monday nights as Just for Women.
We did start that during the cold winter months, and listen, let's face it, I love women. We're doing a lot. We're doing the vagina monologues tonight and tomorrow, but we were doing the Monday night. It's called the Betty Show because Playa Betty's is the restaurant that houses us. Right, so it's named after that. So we were doing that. Yes, for the winter we're not.
You're not.
Right, not at the moment.
You know,
look at how quiet he got.
No,
no. For the moment, no.
Well,
but it will return.
Janine said that she thought that women's shows ghettoize women. I'm like, I don't know.
What?
I don't know if that's true.
Why would she? What's her?
Well, because the whole
there?
separate, like, here's your time.
Like segregated
I didn't.
comedy.
By the way, I never asked her.
Right.
You know what I mean? I was just like, I agree with you, Janine.
I think that look, 90% of the time a lineup is mostly male dominated.
Right.
We know that. So it was our way of saying we're going to give a whole night just to women stand-ups. At the same time, I also agree, like, why is anything one night specifically for this or specifically for that? And I think really the audiences tell you they want variety no matter what.
Yeah.
So that's really the rationale. Are we bringing back the Bettys? Yes. For right now, no. There's so many things we're doing at the club so that promote women, diversity of all types. I mean, different types of shows. So it's not like one of those
Well,
things.
it's funny when people bring up diversity now because it's never been as diverse.
It's really diverse,
as it is now. You know what I mean? And but also there's a thing that a lot of comics are worried about, that the audiences are a little more skittish than they were in the past.
Suck.
They stink. Gina, we
Put
don't
your
want to
phone
say
down, you
that.
sniveling little brat. Yeah, sorry. But come to the club.
Millennials.
Yeah, I don't think, and I had a club in Florida many years ago, and people then never went, "Ooh," when somebody said something, and that's almost show by show that the audience does this. Something naughty is going, like we're all in second grade.
Yeah.
That's a second grade noise to make.
Yeah,
it really is. It's like a lot of times they have to be politically correct. No, I mean politically correct.
Yeah.
You're in a comedy club, so the odds are not everyone is.
I
gonna
won't
be
name
politically
names,
correct,
but
so.
there are some very misogynistic male comics.
Oh,
right?
Aaron Berg.
who I absolutely love.
Yeah.
I love Aaron. Like,
Everyone
talk
does.
about somebody you're going to watch on the scene.
Yeah.
You know, just be one of those guys you're going to. But there's more than Aaron Burke. But these guys have been doing their guy thing, if we're going to call it that, for a long time. And if you have a sense of humor, and you're not taking it personal. You're not personalizing everything. It's the personalization. These are jokes. You don't have to subscribe to them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, I agree
It's just-
100%.
yeah.
But at the same time, we talked before, you do want to have growth as a comedian and a person. So there was like, let's say when Mitzi was starting the store, you wouldn't have had guys, even Aaron Berg's age, working there. You know what I mean? Guys that came from the mountains did not exactly cross over into the first explosion in the 70s because their art was dated. You know, it was made for another time.
And it is important to keep the difference between, like, okay, you don't want everything to be so PC. You want to be able to be funny in the way, but then you also have to be responsive to what humor is, in the same way that like slapstick became outdated. Or, I thought it was really interesting. I know we've discussed this before, but when Sarah Silverman said, like, yeah, maybe we should be modifying the way we figure out how to be funny, because maybe audiences are changing. And she's somebody that, like, obviously she's had tons of heat for saying inappropriate things and making jokes like that. So it is kind of interesting, the idea of it. I mean, I
don't think we've ever just seen a change, though, like what's going on the last couple of years. You know what I mean? Everything happens faster now than it used to.
Everything does.
So if you even look like when they started to talk about women's lib till when it passed, or when they started to talk about gay marriage and when they finally got that passed, now an idea like the trans idea is just moving like this.
Look at how fast a joke gets dull. Like how, because of Twitter, because of just social
Trump.
media in general. It's just too much. Like
I wish that would get more dull.
Yeah. It's weird though. It's like I'm sure late night people deal with this constantly, that a news story could break in the morning. There's a million memes and jokes about it on Twitter, and you're like, wait.
But have you watched Seth Meyers lately? It's a long half hour of Trump jokes.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Just a half hour every night. No one's ever worked that way before. You used to be able to do a couple of jokes, then you move on to other things. But if they're not talking about Trump now in late night, it's like Jimmy, people make fun of him for not talking about Trump as much.
That's true. But it does seem that like like an O.J. Simpson joke or like a Lorena Bobbitt joke used to just be
years
exist for a long time.
You could probably still do a Lorraine Bobbitt joke and get a laugh with it. But that is a very good point.
Yeah.
But you couldn't pick up something that Trump said 3 months ago.
No, absolutely not. And then do it as a joke in late night or on stage. It would just seem so dated.
But everyone's pummeled, though.
Yeah.
Everyone is just pummeled by that information. It's always funny, too, when you see someone do something out of the news and that the audience is like, what? When did that happen? That always, that makes me laugh more than anything else.
Like I'm getting my news from my comedy.
Yeah.
Like, hey, wait, that happened?
That happens.
I do get my Trump news from Seth Meyers.
Yeah. But I've never seen, there's never been anyone like Trump that has demanded as much pro and anti-attention as he is. I think he's changed everything. He's like the computer. You know what I mean? Like the computer changed every business.
Yeah.
Trump has also changed every business.
Yes.
Chris, you got to plug. I mean, they're not here for fun.
We are here for fun.
Are you?
I'm having a
Okay,
good
good.
time.
It changes everything.
Gina Savage and Nina Ash from Westside Comedy Club are in studio. Westside Comedy Club is located on 75th Street.
Can I just? I don't want to tell you to do it, but don't sound like you have a gun to your head. Sound like this is a fun, enjoyable night.
Okay. I'll put the gun away.
Gina Savage and Nina Ash are in studio.
Now you sound angry.
I don't want to. Westside Comedy Club is located on 75th Street and Amsterdam Avenue here in New York City. Go to westsidecomedyclub.com for tickets and showtimes.
That was good.
Yeah, that was nice.
That's all right.
He didn't say West Side, though, the way we say West
we
Side.
say it like this. West Side.
Oh, I like that very much.
that. That's right.
I like that very much.
Yeah. Come to West Side Comedy Club.
Now, are you guys, because you go back to Boston, you go back to Caroline's and Gotham, is there this thing of you want to make sure you have people that start it and are known for coming out of your place, or is that just something that happens organically?
It kind of happens organically because just like, you were talking before about, who the people were that we kind of grew up with in that sense.
Yeah.
These are now senior guys that you definitely want to have in your club because they've developed to the point that they have. You've developed along with them. So they're the top of the class. They're the seniors. And then, we pepper it, with all the other things that every other club wants to do. So I think because we have such great relationships with the comics that we came up with, and they know we're not trying to run a joint that's some BS joint, that they're happy, they like being there.
And you're far enough away, I guess, where the other clubs that are further south don't feel some kind of weird competition. Because I noticed some clubs do feel that, and other clubs don't.
Well, I will say most, pardon me, I do believe that other clubs look at other clubs' lineups and go, what's going on over there? Oh, that's interesting. Oh, they brought that show over there, or they did this or that. Or maybe I'll put, a certain comedian on at 9:40 or 10 o'clock. This way, that comic won't be able to make their way uptown
right.
to do, Nina and Gina's and Eugene's room or whatever. So there's a little bit of that. But from our end, I think it's nothing but great for the Upper West Side and even Stand Up New York, which is our, the club next to us.
Right.
Because
that's the closest.
we're creating a buzz up there that hasn't existed since the freaking China Club in 1980, whatever.
Yeah, that's very, very true.
Right.
Oddly enough, for as famous as the Upper West Side is, there's not a lot to do.
Yeah.
There's just not a lot to do.
And now you don't have to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And even before, when I would be up on the West Side, I'd always think to myself, what do you eat? Do people here eat?
Isn't that weird? Because I know that
Chinese
there's
food.
great restaurants up there.
Chinese food everywhere.
Well, Amsterdam, where we are now, is kind of like this new spot. Like, it's a lot of restaurants are open.
Is that
up
right?
there.
That's great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's a little more happening, especially now that we're the new kids in town. And, and as far as I think the comics were a little wary of how other clubs might treat them at first, but we've made them comfortable there, and a lot of them are starting to kind of consider it their home club. I think we have them there a lot. Yeah,
that to me is when it's really working, when people are just hanging out, and then they have to go do their set, and then they come back to hanging out. And it would seem to be like the worst business model that you could have. But if you think of all the great clubs of all time, no matter what city, that's what it is. It becomes because a lot of times you're like, the customer's always right, but in this case, in some ways, from your point of view, these comics are a customer as well, and you've got to create an environment where they want to come and do their act. Because let's face it, Gaffigan can go out and do 3,000 seats.
Right.
So what makes him want to leave his house to go to a much smaller club?
Yeah.
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 I think that's the real fun thing about the business that you're in.
When we first opened, because people wanted to see what would happen, and obviously we're not doing this thing where we're doing these. Some clubs will do a street team and that sort of thing to like get bodies and seats. We're not doing that.
You can't.
And it's just whatever. So, but what happened was, because people like the space, they like the lineups, that buzz you're talking about, where people come in and hang out.
Yeah,
that happens so often. We're like, look, we gotta limit how many comics hang out now. Like it's getting to that. But that's great. Like I love that guys and gals want to hang out in there.
And that also is what gets the neighborhood fun. I mean, it's great to get tourists, but you get them because they think it's a real New York experience, not because someone lied to them on Broadway. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Nothing. I don't think anything has hurt comedy as much as those street teams that just lie and act like Bill Cosby is going to be in at midnight. But isn't this funny? If you went back to the Seinfeld show, this probably would have been Jerry's club. You know what I mean? At the time, because the Seinfeld show took place in the Upper West Side.
Yeah, well,
and
he's an Upper West Sider,
Yeah. So that would have been the gimmick for to be close to him. Now he goes to Gotham a lot, and the thing that I love about that is everything drops when he comes in. You know what I mean? It's like, good evening, Mr. Seinfeld. Right this way. And then this is my favorite thing, and I'm sure you saw it with Burr and Tracy, is that when one of those names gets introduced in a club, the audience doesn't believe it at first. They just sit there and they think there's going to be a guy doing an impression. You know what I mean? I saw that with Kevin Hart, where it took a full 2 beats before they went, that's really Kevin Hart. And then they went crazy.
Yeah.
Louis, what do you guys think? Back soon? Longer? What?
Do you want me to? Don't you start with that?
Well, I'll tell you one quick story, and then I'll let Gina answer that question.
Yeah.
So one of the people that we came up with at Caroline's that was in that class was Louis. Right, he used to do the late shows with Dave Attell and all of that. So he was on our Wall of Fame that we have at the club.
Yeah.
It's Louis, Sarah Silverman, Jim Gaffigan, Greg Giraldo,
Dave.
Dave Chappelle.
Mm-hmm.
So someone decided that she was upset with Louis and wrote rapist on it in marker. We caught her. We got her to pay for it. Then came the big decision was, do we replace it? Do we just fix it, put him back up, or do we replace him? And, as much as I don't feel like I want to be bullied into that, we also weren't asking for trouble, and we understand where her anger was coming from, even though that obviously wasn't the way to express it, by ruining someone's property.
Right.
But we ended up switching it to Janine Garofalo. But in my personal opinion, Louis still has a place up there. I mean, he.
And I'll just piggyback off that. First of all, I know Louis a lot of years, and I never had that personal experience with him. And I'm not, I've been on some other shows, and I never want to diminish what another woman's experience has been. Okay, so just start there. That being said, I'm a different kind of woman. I'm one exposed to a lot of different things, and so maybe it takes a little bit more to break me. But if I'm going upstairs, back in my day, we had mad money, in case something went wrong.
Right.
We were always with a buddy system, and if we saw something that was like sketchy and weird, we'd be like, let's get out of here. And it wasn't a thing. Now, I'm not saying that getting to the basis of the answer is, but I'd like to see him come back. I'd like to see him come back, and I'm sure he'll have to say whatever he has to say in his Louis way. But what I don't like seeing is his family destroyed either.
Right.
And no woman should go through what any of these women have gone through. Most of us have. Most of us can say me too, just to not get really dramatic about it. But at the end of the day, he's a funny guy, and I would like to see him come back.
And probably will crush. After the first whatever awkward moment, there'll be something, brilliant. There'll be just something brilliant that he's working on.
Listen, we forgave Roseanne for the national anthem,
Right.
I'm not just, I mean, come on. We're a forgiving nation, right? Aren't we? At the end of the day?
Well, we talk about this all the time. It's obviously there should always be some kind of punishment, but to never work again is a very odd thing to come up with. You know what I mean? It's a very strange thing to say, oh, and you can't do your art anymore. You can't do your craft anymore. Chris, you don't plug? Or what?
I do plug.
I mean, we're at the point now where you definitely want to be plugging stuff.
Okay. Gina Savage and Nina Ash are in studio. They run West Side Comedy Club. West Side Comedy Club is on 75th Street and Amsterdam Avenue here in New York City. Go to westsidecomedyclub.com for tickets and showtimes.
Now, the club is the new kid in town, but you guys know comedy as much as anybody. But do you feel like it takes... Would you recommend that anybody without experience would open up a comedy club, or you'd be like, you really need to have a lot of connections and ideas?
Yes, I would not recommend it.
Yeah.
It is not for the faint-hearted.
It's not for the faint-hearted.
No, I mean, we're still, what are we, 3-4 months in now?
We're about 4 months
About
in.
4 months in. And I mean, we're still hitting speed bumps, and we have over 20 years of experience and do have the connections. And it's not easy to there's so many things that go into it. I mean, and Gina's, constantly with the booking, it's always changing, and we're always trying to replace people at the last minute or, fill a spot or whatever it is. It's not easy.
And I also think, as much as the Upper West Side is, trying to, get cool again,
Right.
you're still dealing with a lot of people that, a lot of young parents and a lot of babysitters, and it's our night out. And, it's not like, so what I like about it is now you don't have to go downtown and hire a sitter for that long. It's right there for you. But just but I also think that those people in Midtown need to come up and see what we've got going on, because it's just as exciting as anything they're going to see downtown. But yeah, there are some speed bumps, but we're starting to hit a stride now that I think is really great.
Speed bumps that you guys didn't expect, or stuff that you're like, okay, some of the stuff you've got to come, is going to happen when you're opening up.
I was part of the early days of comics, that club in the meatpacking district.
Sure.
And so, yeah, there were, I think you always expect a certain amount of, will we have people in the seats, that kind of thing, and what produced show is actually producing, and what the hell happened there? Why didn't that work out? So, there's always, there's things you're like, wow, that should have been a heck of a lot busier, or, I thought this was going to do well. And that's just with anything, that's even when we were at Caroline's and I worked for those guys, we'd think something was, a sure thing isn't such a sure thing.
No, that's very, very true. That's very, very true. And when I had my club, there was an old school guy who did it on a Saturday night, and I had him booked for 2 shows, and we were like, he was going to work the candles, and he felt so bad about it. And I said, dude, it's a Saturday in Florida. It's always bad. I just literally, even though I was losing money, I was lying to him.
Right.
And the only reason why I wanted to see him is because when I was a little kid, he was one of the, so I wasted my money doing this and then had to make up a lie. It's Saturday. It's bad. It's bad.
Saturdays are rough night for us.
But it was also like a 280 seat club, so 40 people would look terrible. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then he had like 7 or 8 just sitting.
Oh, yeah.
And he came out to a song.
No.
He came out and sang a song to everybody. You know what? I'm going to tell you, it was Soupy Sales. And,
wow.
And he sang Nothing from Nothing when he came out. Nothing from nothing.
Wow.
He literally was in my office in boxer shorts and putting makeup on this little mirror that he brought with him. And I knew that there was no one outside.
Oh, God.
Wow.
It's devastating. Yeah.
It's so great to see you, and I'm very, very happy for you guys.
Thanks so much.
You'll have to come down.
Yeah, we will. We definitely will come and see you sometime. Chris?
Yes.
For once, do a goddamn plug and make it sound like it's off the top of your head. Like this is something you just thought of.
Okay.
I'm going to just give you this note. Right. Never say okay before you get into it.
Got it.
Because then it sounds like, you know what I mean? You're forcing it.
Well, Gina Savage and Nina Ash have been in studio with us, and they have a brand new comedy club, Westside Comedy Club. It's located on 75th Street in Amsterdam in New York City. And you go to westsidecomedyclub.com for all their tickets and all their show times.
And a lot of great established comics. You guys are going to be working to get some new established comics, too, which is always, to me, the coolest thing. Thank you so much, guys. Best of luck to you.
Thank you.
If you ever need help with any, call us and you want us to put somebody on. All right, that's it for us. Tomorrow we'll announce the next Unmasked. Just give us a hint, Chris. It's a duo?
It's a duo.
Okay.
A two-male duo.
And are they currently on television?
They are currently on television.
Late night television?
They are on in the evening, yes, late night.
But it's a parody newscast?
That could be it.
Okay.
That's a little more, too much.
On Saturday nights?
It's on a day of the week.
Okay. All right. That's it. We'll see you guys again in 1974.
Ladies and gentlemen, the evening is over. We hope you all enjoyed yourselves, and we'll see you all again in 1974. Good evening!